السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. صباح الخير. كيف حالكم؟ تمام؟ طبعا أخوكم وائل موسى. I'm the Dean of the Entrepreneurship Institute at King Fahd University of Petroleum Minerals. And I'm so pleased and delighted to be giving this workshop. It's a dear passion to myself over the last 5 years since we started the Institute as a business incubator. So it was like a startup. When the SPAR came, we felt like it's an opportunity to be a knowledge partner with a SPAR. So we had also some wonderful, members from the US who are collaborators that are here with us today. And also we are delivering today a workshop, and tomorrow also we're giving a workshop on design thinking. So, before we start, safety first. طيب. So, لا قدر الله في حالة حريق، لا قدر الله في حالة أي emergency. احنا عندنا exit سمح من هنا الأخوان على المواقف، ونوصل على exit من الباب الرئيسي. But this is very important. لا قدر الله في حالة حريق أو أي حاجة. طيب. We have to agree on terms and conditions first of all before we start. Because العقد شريعة ايش؟ متعاقدين. First of all, it's in English. Right? So if you don't comprehend very well with English, it's okay. No problem. Be brave and tell us, and you can leave the room. That's number one. Number two, it's highly interactive. Meaning that we're going to do a lot of exercises, a lot of discussions. Okay? I try to minimize my talk as much as I can. Okay? And we're going to stick together until 5 o'clock almost. So if you cannot stay until 5 o'clock, you better leave from now. Okay, so because honestly, I don't like to do something which is not perfect as much as we can. It's not perfect, nothing is perfect, but at least we want to maximize the benefit for everyone. So these are the rules. Okay? And I'll ask the guys, the organizers, to pass a list where you can put your name and affiliation. The name you want your name to appear on the certificate. We're going to do that, signed by the institute, and we'll send it back to you, inshallah, to Asbar, and then Asbar will send it to you. Okay? Right. To start with, we're going to start with an exercise. And I need 4 volunteers. And by the way, you have to respond. If you don't respond, I'm going to ask, by. So 1, 2, 3, تفضل يا تفضل. One more. يلا تعال. And I want you to be very patient with me, okay? These exercises sometimes can trigger your anger. طيب أنا أهم شيء إني أقدر أنقز من الشباك هنا. I want you to stand in front of me. لا ما يحتاج. سلمك الله تعالى مسؤول. Okay. This is for you. This is for you. This is for you. So we're going to do a simple exercise. نحتاج الصوت سجل الكاميرا. حطوا الجبهة الثانية أحسن ما عندي جوال. طبعا. Those guys are the victims, by the way, huh? You have to laugh at them. Okay? They don't know what they are into now. So, anyhow, so I want you to follow my, action. Okay? If you can just move a bit on the side a bit, follow my action. What I'm going to do with the paper, and you can cheat. It's okay. Cheating now is okay, just for this moment. Okay? So I want you to bend the paper like this, with a small triangle, any shape. It's not like this. Horizontal or lateral. And then do another bending like this. This shape. It doesn't matter. It doesn't need to be perfect. Okay. Got this. Okay. And then we're going to do something like this. And then rebend it again this way. Be patient, okay? So show it to the participants. Show it. What's this, Jama'ah? A boat, a sailing boat, okay? So we are sailing the boat. You sail the boat like this. Just, sail the boat. Okay. You guys stand up. All of you stand up. You sail. Continue to sail. سيب الجوال, huh? سيب الجوال. Okay. What happens when you sail nearby a shore, a coast? You'll find birds. مش كده ولا? Seagulls. طيور النورس, right? What will happen? What they will do when you come close? They're gonna cock, right? So you're gonna cock, all of you. Cock. Seriously, cock. There is no certificate without cocking, by the way, huh? Okay? Have a seat. Continue to sail. I didn't say stop. Okay? So they are sailing, they are sailing, they are sailing, and all of a sudden there will be a storm. All of a sudden there is a storm that's going to hit the boat from one side. So we're going to tear the paper like this, just from one side. Just tear it from one side. Okay? And then the skies are clear. And then the boat will start what? Sail again. So no, not yet. Still, it can hold. So it's sailing and sailing and sailing. It comes nearby another shore. Yalla jama'a. And it's going to see the seagulls. Okay? Come on, you sail. Okay? Continue to sail. Okay? And then they're going to be cocking. Okay? Cock, yalla, ها ارفعوا يدكم. مو انتوا تقولوا تبوا السواقه وكذا ورونا يلا ها. Okay, cock. Cock, ارفع يدك زين. Cock, ارفع يدك. Okay? Sit down. Okay? This is good. This is good. This is entrepreneurial. Okay? Sit down. You agreed to my rules. Okay? Okay. So the boat is sailing and sailing. It hits another storm, and it will damage the other side of the boat. Okay? The skies again are clear. You're not going to cock. Okay? And the boat will continue to sail and sail. Then all of a sudden a tsunami comes and hits the boat, and you're going to tear it from the top here. انت شقيتها مرة يا عمي ما في مشكلة. ماشي. Anyhow, open the paper now. Open the papers. We started with what? The concept of what? Of a sailing boat, right? We ended up with what, ya jama'a? This looks like what? A t-shirt. Okay, thank you very much. Let's give a round of applause to the guys over here. So this is all about entrepreneurship. You start with this great big idea, and you face challenges, and you face, pressure from the family, pressure from the people, pressure from the venture capitals, pressure from your boss, and you start shaping and reshaping the concept until it becomes a t-shirt. You start with something that you believe, this is the savior of the world, and it ends up to be something else that the market needs and the customer wants. You see the concept, okay? Do you like the concept? Yes. Do you like the cocking, by the way? Okay? You don't like the cocking. You are, risk averse. So we're gonna change that, inshallah, by the end of the session. Anyhow, let's carry on. And by the way, rule number 6, anytime you have a question, just raise your hand, ask freely, okay? So, we're going to talk today about why entrepreneurial leadership is emerging as a new leadership model. It's very important to understand the difference between entrepreneurship, leadership, and entrepreneurial leadership. And then we're going to talk about the mental model that, frames the entrepreneurial leader. If you are an entrepreneurial leader, how your mental model should look like, how you should act and behave. And then the third part, we'll talk about how to develop effective entrepreneurial leaders, because you guys as leaders have a responsibility. And how can you build that image and then, come with a responsibility and act as, as a responsible entrepreneurial leader. Okay? So leadership, the entrepreneurial leadership is emerging as a new leadership model for startups and corporates and any organizations. Look at the governments, what they're doing now. The government in Saudi Arabia, what they're doing. SME Authority, for example, they are working like companies. The government entities are hiring people who work and have this mindset of corporates, right? So, what's entrepreneurship in your opinion? What's entrepreneurship? Just tell me. What do you think entrepreneurship is? Innovation. Entrepreneurship is about, okay, you didn't like me. Innovation. Change. What? Risk taken, okay. You didn't want a cock, you know. How come you talk about risk taking? Okay, what else? Creativity. And so on and so forth. This is how it works, right? So let's look at the various point of views of different organizations that oversee entrepreneurship for so many years. We just started, by the way. Okay, we just started. Traditional state view, people think that entrepreneurship is about starting a new business, right? مش كده ولا يا جماعة? Okay, this is number one. Harvard, for example, they talk about pursuing an opportunity regardless of resources available. You're just going to go ahead with this endeavor without thinking about the resources. Academic view, from research, whatever, the discovery and exploitation of profitable opportunities. You go and see those opportunities that makes profit, and you move forward. By the way, rule number 7, no tampering with your mobile phones while I'm talking, please. All of you. No videotaping and no imagery, okay, whatsoever for the time being. We need your full attention, okay? Babson view. Who knows Babson, ya Jama'ah? I want to see hands who knows Babson. Okay, Babson College. Who knows Babson College? Babson College is college number 1 in the world ranked for entrepreneurship education. They have a wonderful and interesting view. They say that identifying the opportunity, you see the opportunity first, you acquire the resources, and providing the leadership. You provide what? The leadership. To create something of value. It's not about creating a startup alone and making money in your pocket. It could be, you know, economically valuable. That's one thing, but it's not everything. Okay? Of value, it could be economical, societal value, or variety of context. So it's beyond thinking about just making money, being the next, you know, Bill Gates or Mark Zuckerberg, which is okay, that's fine. But we need to think beyond, you know, just ourselves. Entrepreneurship, most fundamentally, is a method, it's a mindset, and leadership that could and should be used when leading all types of organizations. When I was appointed the Director of Business Incubators at KFPM 5.5 years ago, I've been very much criticized of being an engineer. Okay? How come an academician oversee a business incubator? And now, we started a program by itself. The incubator became an institute, you know, and we raised last year 3 million riyals, the year before 500,000 riyal. This year, we signing contracts now of 10 million riyals. So, and we are academicians. It's not about being an academician or being someone who doesn't have, you know, school education. It's about the person himself, the passion that they have. And it's a method. People can have a certain methodology to follow about entrepreneurship. It's a mindset, the way you look at things and think about things. A kid come to you, my daughter, for example, or my boy, my son, they say, Dad, we want to buy a new iPhone. Cool. Okay, let's go and buy it. Is this the right way? No. Let them go and explore and compare prices and compare different markets and shops and what they offer, what are the things, and then tell them, okay, if you do this, this, and that, you're going to have the pony, and then you're going to have the iPad or whatever. Okay? So it's the mindset. And leadership, of course, this is what we're going to talk about today. Okay? Yes? Well, we're going to talk about the entrepreneurial vision at the end. There's a complete exercise that talks about the entrepreneurial vision, but it's very important. Okay? It's very important to have a vision, of course, when you are a leader. Absolutely, absolutely. For example, if we take 3M, and you know, it's not about starting a business, as I said, but corporates. Let's say corporates. 3M. What 3M is, you know, very famous of? Sticky notes, right? The post-it, you know, sticky notes. مش كده ولا الصفرة هذه اللي تصل, right? Since the 70s, 2 scientists working with adhesives, chemical adhesives, and they were playing with that, and they just found an opportunity. And until today, it has been used since the late 70s. Okay? This is innovation. This is entrepreneurial mindset that they had and has been implemented and created a value. Sony PlayStation, I just mentioned the case of Sony PlayStation, right? I just mentioned that the guy was an electrical engineer, sound engineer, who was about to get fired because he came to Sony and say, dudes, I have an opportunity for you. Let's do a gaming, product. Sony PlayStation. Who has encountered before a Sony PlayStation, by the way? Who have done that before? You don't play PlayStation? At the back? PlayStation? Okay, your kids, your relatives, you see them, right? It's very powerful. It's very impactful. It was his mindset, his leadership style that helped them to go through Sony. And by the way, Sony used to be before very well known for TVs, handycams, if you remember. مش كده ولا لا? Now Samsung is taking over. مش كده ولا لا? LG is taking over. مش كده ولا لا يا جماعة? Okay? But Sony still is in the market because of the computer multimedia company, the games. And they're not making money out of the machines themselves, by the way. They're making more money from the games. Okay? From the games. Let's move forward. What I want you to do now, just quickly in your mind, imagine, okay? Picture a face of an entrepreneur. Write down many words that character, qualities that entrepreneurs in your mind have. What one word best describe the character of an entrepreneur? So I'll give you just 2 minutes to do that. So think about one guy, a male or female, who's an entrepreneur, okay? And what describes the qualities of such an entrepreneur? And then what's the best one word that describes the character of an entrepreneur? يلا جماعة. No problem. Yeah, we will ask them to remove it. Just focus on the exercise. We'll do that. أبشر. Okay, guys, who's going to volunteer first? Yes, تفضلي.
Consistency.
But who's the entrepreneur that you're thinking about, first of all? Tell me the name of the entrepreneur, and
Famous one?
whoever comes to your mind.
Mark.
Okay, Zuckerberg, right? Okay, and what describes him best?
Determination.
Okay, thank you very much. Who else? ناخذ من الطاولة اللي هناك، تفضلي.
Steve Jobs.
Jobs. Everyone thinking about Steve Jobs.
He's creative, innovative.
He's an innovator. Just one word يا جماعة، قلنا one word. تفضل. Okay? So he's a guy of an action. He takes an action, right? Okay, تفضلي. Bill Gates. Okay? No, but the guy, Bill Gates, right? Or Sulaiman Al-Alayan, whoever. What describes him best as an entrepreneur? ايش اللي يوصفه؟ هذه المشكلة، أقول لكم يا جماعة لازم تكونوا تتحدثون إنجليزية كويسة. Anyhow, Bill Gates, what is so famous about Bill Gates? Okay, he's an initiator. I don't think about that, but anyhow. People believe he stole Steve Jobs' work, in the... Workaholic. Okay. Let's take from this table. تفضلي. العليان. She's an entrepreneur?
No, because her father is already a businessman.
Okay.
So she's...
تفضل عشان بس أنت من أول. Okay. Mindset. تفضل يا دكتور آخر واحد تفضل.
I can think of Sulaiman Al-Alayan.
Okay, that's a good example. So just give me one best word that describes his, character.
I think he's insisting.
Is what? Insisting. Insisting on what? You mean persistent, basically. Persistent, basically. Okay? Okay. Let's move forward. I'm going to show you a movie. And I apologize if there's like a background music with the movie. It's going to be just for a second. I want you to pay attention to the message that the movie is saying. Okay? Yes? Yes? Well, there's a big debate about Bill Gates, right? So, but anyhow, we are using his PowerPoint, product. So let me see how to start that. Okay. معلش. Let's see. I want to play it on the screen. Okay, let's do it the other way around. Sorry. Trying to be entrepreneurs as much as we can. We adapt to changes, right? Let's do that. لا سكرنا الباب الله يسلمك. That's very inspiring, right? Do you think so? Okay, cool. Anyhow, the problem is that, الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول كل مولود يولد على الفطرة, right? أبواه يهوداني مجوساني ونصراني, مش كده ولا لا؟ And also they say الإنسان ابن بيئته, مش كده ولا لا؟ It takes time. When we are in kindergarten, we had everything in place and we can play with things without any limitations. The moment you enter the first grade, you're going to sit in a chair like this, and they will teach you that 5 plus 5 has only and one only answer, which is 10. But if they tell you I need a 10, and these are like x and y, how many ways you have to achieve 10 from x and y? Infinite many ways. مش كده ولا يا جماعة? It's a different way of thinking. Okay? And this is what probably, the country needs to do to reform the higher education and also the K-12. Anyhow, there's always a question that comes to my mind and comes to, I think, your minds. In a debate, always I see it on Twitter and people debate and whatever. Are entrepreneurs born to be entrepreneurs? This is Steve Jobs, Okay, the guy who you guys see as a savior. I don't like iPhones, by the way. I use Samsung. So anyhow, and this is Bill Gates, right? Were they born to be entrepreneurs? ها شباب. By the way, when I say شباب جمع للشابات أيضا. ها فيعني. Were they born entrepreneurs? Who says yes? Who says yes? Don't be shy to air out whatever you think. ها جماعة. Okay, who says yes? Who says yes? بشوف أيادي فوق. Who says yes that they are, no, that they are not born to be entrepreneurs? No. It's what?
It's like it has both the genes and that he's already born to be an entrepreneur, and I think the environment and the knowledge that he has also affect that.
So you believe that there's something in the DNA and the genes of those people, but also the environment, right? Okay, تفضلوا ها. ترى على فكرة we're going to give a prize to the ladies because they are more active than the guys. So you better work yourself يا جماعة. لا تحرجونا ترى معاهم. ها.
No, I think they're not born. It's their determination, their passion, their curiosity. I mean, Bill Gates marriage from this garage with it.
Okay.
I mean, it's basically his mindset, and he's persevering to gather people around him. He had a belief that he wanted to pursue and to make people see it and to change the world.
Okay. Anyone else? تفضلي. He's a leader. Okay, he's a leader. Anyone else? تفضل.
Yeah, two differences. One is the monopoly, the business monopoly of Apple and first of the IBM.
Microsoft, you mean?
No, IBM.
IBM, okay.
Before Microsoft. He created Microsoft after IBM. When he wrote, he was working with Apple before. And he wrote some ideas, they rejected this one. So he went there with IBM and started opening the operating system, things like that. So it's focusing on the business more than that. They didn't take that into consideration Apple. So even though it's better than Apple and the systems, that it became a
But if you want to understand my question, I'm talking about people like those. Were they born to be entrepreneurs? Do they feed them milk, to be entrepreneurs? Okay, that's a debatable question. Okay, it's a debatable question. Just your comment quickly because we have to move. A fear of change. You're saying they are risk takers.
Yes.
Okay, we're going to come back to that, by the way. I don't agree 100%, but we're going to come back to that. Okay? So, Ernst & Young has done a study, and they came up with 5, outcomes of the study, providing insights into minds of today's most successful entrepreneurial leaders, and they said that, first of all, entrepreneurial leaders are made, not born. They are made and not born. Look at Abraham Bell. Look at Edison. These used to be innovators and entrepreneurs, single person. But even history tells us that if you look to Henry Ford, who came up with the T car, Okay? People believed that Ford was having an assembly line and the factory was there, whatever. He wasn't alone. He was relying on the small SMEs in Detroit, like Dodge, for example, which became later on a company by itself, to supply him with the supply chain components that will build his car at the beginning. Look back to history. In fact, people say that the Silicon Valley of the United States wasn't in California. It was in Detroit because of the work that Ford has done at that time and the contributions of those SMEs. Okay? Entrepreneurship is rarely one of decision, etc., but traditional companies can also learn from entrepreneurial leaders. This goes back to our claim at the beginning that organizations can benefit from these leaders, but they're not born, okay? 100%. Of course, Majid Abdullah, when he used to play soccer, who knows Majid, he's talented. The guy is talented, okay? But also he found an environment. He found an incubator. Abdurrahman bin Saud was always betting on him. Okay? Seriously, think about history. Look at that. And also, the research tells us that the competencies of entrepreneurs, some of them are deeply rooted in the person's background, like the personality, attitudes, traits, social role, and self-image. And also those can be acquired at work or through training like this, hopefully, and education. So you have the skills, the experience, and the knowledge. So it's two things. Okay? It's two things, and you need both. You need both. I'm talking here scientific research, and the references are there. Okay? Now, as I mentioned in my talk, the world is changing, and it's changing in a very rapid manner. You know, there's a magazine in the United States that talks about the 500 startups. Okay? 40% of the existing companies in the US alone weren't there like a couple of years ago. Weren't there. It's a game changer. You need to create, there's a greater uncertainty and complexity that is happening. And we're going to talk about that in details. The need for entrepreneurs' response is a must. I had the chance to meet with the guy who made the state of Tennessee surfacing on the emerging ecosystems in the last 10 years in the United States. This was a magazine in the Wall Street Journal, by the way. His name is Michael Burcham. And this is his quote. He says that whether we work for a 10-person company, so we showed you now research, but I'm telling you talking about somebody who practiced that. He says whether we work for a 10-person company, a giant multinational corporation, a not-for-profit, by the way, the last company he sold $150 million, just FYI. Okay? Government agency or any type of organization in between, okay, to seize the new opportunities and meet the challenges of the market, we need to think and act, okay, like we are running a startup. Michael Burcham. Okay, I'll give you his contacts later on, okay? And there is reasoning for that. Why do we need such a mindset? The making decisions with limited information. Although we have the Google now, right? Okay, but still, the information about the competition, what other companies are innovating and doing, we don't have. No guarantees or safety nets as before. KFPM was alone, for example, for so many years, but now we have competitors. We have another like 29, public schools, and we have also private schools, and we have now cows. I'm just telling you a real example. So it makes a difference for us, right? Take on a certain amount of risk. There must be some risk that you should take. Competition is changing. The market is changing, of course. And the life cycle of products are becoming shorter and shorter. How many times you change your smartphones or your phones over the last 10 years? How many times? 10 times? 15? Annually. Oh, mashallah, عندك فلوس انت. Okay. Okay? It's a challenge. I saw on the Forbes magazine 10 years ago a quote about Nokia. It says the 1 billion users of, who are going to come and beat those guys, right? And 5 years down the road, this was 2007. 5 years down the road, Apple came and just, Nokia is gone. Although, by the way, Nokia is not famous of phones in principle. Okay? They are famous about building, communication networks, and still they are surviving because of that. Absolutely. But you see, they're still there, but they missed a bigger opportunity because they didn't put more into R&D. They thought like we have 1 billion users, it's enough for us. Anyhow, 5 steps to develop the mindset. One of them is you combine your assets, your aspirations, the market realities. You plan to adapt. You have to be, moving, adapting, accepting change. Build real and lasting relationships. You have to be persistent. I went to the SME Authority probably 20 times after Dr. Suleiman visited us to convince him about projects, and now we are signing those projects. We are signing those projects. You need to work. You need to build your relationship. Nothing can come, السماء لا تمطر ذهبا زي ما يقول, right? You need to develop a method to evaluate the options and ideas to determine the best new products and services. What fits you as an organization? What is the best tool that you can use to measure whether this is something that will be, a budding star for you or not? And most importantly, build your skills as a leader. It's very important. Now, speaking about leadership, let's think about leaders in our minds and see basically, what describes them as best leaders, by words. Can I see the schedule? معلش ما عندي sorry. Okay. Yeah, we are there. Good. يا جماعة, I want to think about a leader, one leader, and think about, it's like the entrepreneur exercise, and think about what one word, best describe the character of a leader, of a good leader. هذه لك. You were brave to stand in front of the audience. مين اللي كان معنا؟ أنت؟ تفضل. باقي اثنين كمان. مين كمان؟ تفضل. It's a USB disk. It's discs that has basically the EI logo. So we're gonna have more prizes for brave people, right? So I want to tease you a bit. يا جماعة, tell me, what comes to your mind first when you want to think about a leader? No, I'm talking about a person and a character. خلينا نسمع من هنا, تفضل. عليه الصلاة والسلام. Okay. So what best describe him? Of course هو خلقه كان القرآن بس as a leader. He has a vision. Okay, good, visionary. Huh?
A believer.
Believer. Who is that? Reem Jizawi. I don't know her, but anyhow. Huh? He was what? What describes him best? He's a risk taker. تفضل يا. عمر بن الخطاب. Big leader. What describes him as, he's fair. Yeah. Well, he's fair also. This best describes him, عدلت فهمت فنمت, مش كده ولا لا؟ Absolutely. Let's leave the prophets aside. Let's talk about something here, تفضل. تفضل. Muhammad bin Salman. That's a great example. So what best describes him?
The vision of the kingdom.
No, him. He's so into the youth. He speaks the language of the youth. This is my opinion. Okay? Don't you think so?
Yes.
Huh? Well, if you are young enough, that's one character. Let's move to another example. تفضل. Okay? So what describes him best? Decision maker. Okay. Mahathir Mohamad, what describes him best? He's a changer. Okay. Okay. We're going to stop. Okay, you got the idea now, okay? You got the idea. So let's move forward. Because of the sake of the time. By the way, usually this workshop, I give it in a complete one day from 7 o'clock to 6 o'clock. So we try just to compress it as much as we can. So I apologize if we need to move, we have to move because we don't have time, okay? So there are like zillions of definitions, by the way, but I love this definition. And I will show you another definition that we believe in as well. Leadership consists of a strategic vision. Again, coming back to many of you who mentioned vision, right? Okay, coupled with the ability, there is an ability over here to influence and motivate. So you need to influence people and motivate them at the same time. Okay? Others through the systems, processes, and culture of the organization. This is like a typical academic definition. Okay, and there are like a lot of definitions. But if I want to tell you the truth, and what happened at Aspar Vegas doesn't, go beyond Aspar Vegas. This is what they say, We don't disclose this beyond the room. Okay? We don't lead an organization, and I think if you look about it, think about it, and reflect it on yourselves, you will find what I'm saying is somehow true. We don't lead an organization, department, or group, and your people don't follow strategic plans, okay, fancy goals or year-end reports. They follow a person. How many of you have seen that? You see your boss, or the leader of the organization, or the leader of the country, very inspiring, I'm going to do whatever it takes to make sure that this guy is successful. مش كده ولا يا جماعة؟
He take responsibility.
Sorry?
He take responsibility. Some manager blame his staff or something like this. But when he take responsibility, other mistake or something, this is the leader.
Well, I'm talking about whether he takes responsibility or not. If you believe in someone, okay, and believe in someone, you're going to follow him, right? مش كده ولا يا جماعة? Okay? How you influence others is the most important part of leadership. They follow a person, okay? You have these wonderful, fancy plans, and by the way, this is my opinion. I have seen it. I worked for Schlumberger for some time. I worked at KFUPM. I worked at Al Qura. I worked with the Academic Leadership Center. From my point of view, you follow a person, okay? And what you want as a leader is that if you are a leader, you want to move north, you want all the team members to move where? With you. مش كده ولا لا? Now, what is the reality? That is that the team leader is moving north, and the rest, even by 1 degree, they're going to go somewhere else. Okay? They're going to go somewhere else. كده ولا يا جماعة? Okay? So now the question comes, we talked about entrepreneurship. We talked about leadership. What is entrepreneurial leadership? Okay? What is entrepreneurial leadership? So I'm going to show you, there are like 10 definitions that we saw over the literature. The one that I mostly like is the following. It says, first of all, it's a process, عملية, okay? Of creating an entrepreneurial vision, coming back to your statement about the vision. Some of you mentioned the vision as well. And inspiring a team. So you have a team that you should inspire with your vision, okay? To enact the vision. Who can execute the vision at the end? The team, the whole organization, right? Okay? In high velocity and uncertain environments. مش كده ولا يا جماعة? Due to the things that we talked before about. The life cycle of the product is becoming shorter. مش كده ولا? The market is changing. The needs of the customers are changing, etc., etc. This is a high velocity, uncertain environment that you're dealing with. And you can see that, in every organization. Think about it. An SME, startup, a government organization, a university, a company. If you think for a second, okay, this is high velocity and uncertain environment. Design is what? Well, we talk about the concept of having a strategic plan and people not listening to the strategic plan. They are following a person. So if you have a compelling story or a compelling, vision, people will follow, and then they will help you go and navigate through high velocity, uncertain environments. But listen, we have to think about what is an entrepreneurial vision first. Okay? We're not talking about a vision that you're going to bring all the team and making exercises and all of this. You have your own. This is one point. But now we're talking about the guy who's going to lead the team, his own entrepreneurial vision. What Mohammed bin Salman, for example, is thinking about the country. He has an entrepreneurial, very ambitious vision, right? Okay? To change the economy and make, the whatever. So that's the thing that we're talking about, entrepreneurial vision, okay? Let's talk about entrepreneurial leadership competences, basically, okay? And then we're gonna, after a couple of slides, we're gonna break for the prayers and we come back. So, first of all, as competences, al-jidarat, we have proactiveness. We have what? Proactiveness, right? Influence and lead the future. Accept the responsibility of failure. Someone said accepting, responsibility. انتبهوا هناك, صح? Okay? Anticipate future problems. You're not going to sit at your office and say, problems will come to me. You have to go and talk to your team and say, okay, what the customers told you. You have to go by yourself and talk to the customers, the people. Okay? I sit with my team every day. I sit with the students every day. They have my mobile phone. We contact even 2 o'clock in the morning via WhatsApp. It's a nightmare, by the way. But at the end, I understand what's happening. And you can reflect the same concept to your organizations. Number 1, proactiveness. Number 2, innovativeness. What is innovation? What is innovation? To me, A simple definition. Innovation is staying relevant all the time. That's innovation. Staying what? Relevant. You have the ability and tendency to think creatively, and you have the ability to take that creative thinking or creative product or whatever into something of value. Okay? إطعام, for example. Who knows إطعام? Okay, إطعام is a non-profit organization that takes the extra food wasted from wedding halls, from whatever, and put it where, يا جماعة? They clean it, arrange it, pack it, heat it, and give it to the needy. مش كده ولا يا جماعة? Do you know 3 years ago, this is my statistics that I have, maybe I'm wrong. 3 years ago, the operation cost was for إطعام 40 million riyals. 40 million riyals. It's a non-profit organization, but look what type of value they are creating. حفظ النعمة, right? Giving access to great and quality food for those who didn't taste it before. Having this wonderful, relationship between the society, different levels. مش كده ولا يا جماعة? Okay? That's innovative. Okay? And calculated risk taking. They absorb uncertainty and take the burden and responsibility for the future. Now, Bill Gates is a risk taker, right? Why do you think he was a risk taker?
No, he's not.
Okay, for those who think, أحلم علي بس. For those who think that Bill Gates is a risk taker, why do you think? What is the story of Bill Gates when he was at school? He left school totally. Okay? Okay. This is a myth, by the way. خرافة هذه. The guy is smart. You know what he did? He said, I'm going to suspend my studies for a year and give it a shot. If I was successful, I'll leave, college. But you see, the thing is that he did risk take. He was a risk taker, of course, but he calculated his risk. He said, خط رجعة, احنا نقول نسميها خط رجعة, plan B. He put in his mind that if I fail, nothing will harm me. 1 year of my life, it's not a big deal. I'm going to come back and have my seat at Harvard or whatever he was studying. مش كده ولا يا جماعة؟ يا أختي معلش لا تصوري بالجوال، أنا بعطيكم السلايدز كلها إن شاء الله. طيب وحتى برسل لكم إياها بالإيميل، لا تشيلون هم. طيب. Anyhow. Now تكلمنا عن entrepreneurship، تكلمنا عن leadership. We talked about entrepreneurial leadership. Who are entrepreneurial leaders? First of all, the leaders are individuals, okay, who through an understanding of themselves and the context in which they work. It doesn't matter where you work, which organization you are, part of. You can be an entrepreneurial leader, okay? You act and share opportunities. هذا حقي، لا هذا حقك، هذا لا مش عارف إيه. It doesn't work anymore. If you want to be a leader, entrepreneurial leader, you have to learn how to share opportunities, okay? That create value. Again, يا جماعة, we are emphasizing the word value for their organizations, their stakeholders, and their wider society. This is who we believe, at least at KFPM, an entrepreneurial leader. Now, the last slide before we finish is basically this session, of course, okay, before the break. These are some of the characteristics of the entrepreneurial leader's behavior. سلوكيات the entrepreneurial leaders. They are risk takers, calculated risk takers. They have this economic orientation. Even if I have a non-profit organization, I need to bring some money to make the organization work. مش كده ولا? Endowments, for example, gifts, loans, whatever. مش كده ولا يا جماعة?
Optimize the operation.
Optimize the operation, whatever. Okay, what does it take to make my business sustainable? They have this personal responsibility. Sometimes you have stomach burn. Sometimes you don't sleep. Sometimes something nags all the time in your background, in your head, deeply rooted. You cannot go behind it. You cannot go away from it. عنده فكر يقولوا بالعربي مش كده ولا لا؟ Okay? And they are having always a sharp focus. They see it and they want to focus on it regardless of what's happening outside. They learn from the experience. Okay, I do this, I might fail, I learn from that experience and start again. And very important is that they are divergent thinkers. Those guys, those dudes, they don't accept from you telling them it cannot be done. They don't do that. Okay? They will not reach the convergent thinking until they address all possible opportunities, for them to think how to solve that matter. They are divergent thinkers. And there is like theories, by the way, about convergent thinking and basically divergent thinking. So it's about time for us to break. We have, I think, 20 minutes. I hope you enjoyed the first session. Don't disappear after the workshop, after the first session, come back again, okay? So we have, I think, يصير الجدول معلش تكرما. By the way, are you happy so far? Are you enjoying, having fun? Right. We're going to have more fun next time, I promise you. The next session, you're going to be on your toes, but no cocking anymore. So we're going to be back here, 12:50 يا جماعة. 12:50 by mean, I'm going to start the session. كل طاولة عندها puzzle. طيب كل طاولة عندها puzzle لازم تكون عندها. تاخذ كرسيك معك إذا تبغى، ما في مشكلة. خذ كرسيك معك. طيب. أوكي يا جماعة. I want you to listen for a second. خليك معك يا أختي لو سمحتي بس عشان الكلام يكون موحد. الطاولة اللي هي البازل بتحداكم تحدي. You're going to have a challenge. This puzzle is very easy. 300 pieces only. 300 pieces, huh? And I want you to build the puzzle in a very short time. I'm not going to give you the time. واضح ولا لا? So as a team, you're going to collaborate to do what? Build what? The puzzle. طيب? I think there is no time. I'm going to give you the time. It's very short. And 300 pieces. ما هو big deal يعني. يلا start. تفضل معهم تفضل. الصورة هذه نعم البازل هذه. ترى you can come closer. أنا أفضل you stand عشان تشتغل اكسرسايز أفضل ما تجلسون يعني. شفتوا كيف الاكسرسايز سهل 300 يعني. أبغاك. لا. تعالي يا أختي، شو اسمك؟ تعالي معي. تعالي. أختي الكريمة، شو اسمك؟ تعالي معي. دكتور، تعال معي، سيب اللي في يدك وتعال معي. أوكي. طاولة. This is one table. هذه الرابعة هنا. 4 tables. واحد بس before cup 3 fabrics at random and build a quilt. اوكي بس 3. خلاص فهمتي الآن؟ 3 برسلك الشباب الآن والشابات ياخذوا كل واحد يروح مع الفريق حقه and build a quilt.
With 3 fabrics.
4 هم with 3 fabrics only. هذه طاولة وفي هنا طاولة ثانية. pieces.
المرحلة الأولى نجمع الألوان مع بعض نحدث جزئية.
مو جروب واحد، كل واحد على طاولة. شوف تعال أنت هنا. تعال هنا. أنت خلاص الكيس على الكرسي. هناك دكتور أعطيك. يا حارثي تعالي معي. I need a volunteer. مين بيجي معايا؟ يبغى واحد. تعال انت. تعال انت. يا صاحب الفارق، صاحب فيصل الفارق، تعال معي. تعال معي، سيب اللي في يدك معلش. كفولنتير، كمل انت شغلك. تعال. بسرعة بسرعة بسرعة. اوكي. قولي لهم الآن. قولي لهم يلا. التيم اللي جالس معاه، التيم اللي عنده. جوين يور تيم. 3 لا مش هنا. الطاولات هنا برا. خذ حبات من الفابريك ات راندوم وجوين التيم اللي جالس معاه. build a quilt together. سجاده مع بعض. لا لا، مين اللي كان معاكي في الطاوله جالس؟ دكتور هناك، روح دكتور. انت مين كان معك؟ كيف ولا واحد؟ عندك هنا هذه الاخت وعندك هنا وهنا، مين اللي كان معك في الطاوله؟ خلاص خليك معاه، خلاص خليك معاه. معاه تركيبه 1 بيس، ها؟ لازم يكون 1 بيس. شكل واحد يسوي يعني، يكملوا بعض. سيبي لي في يدك وتعالي معي. لو سمحتي يا اختي كريمه، لو سمحتي سيبي لي في يدك وتعالي معي. انتظروني دقيقه هنا. تعال معي. هي لا مش 1 تيبل، خليك بس جالسه هنا منتظره. تعالي معي تعالي. يلا بسرعه بسرعه يا جماعه بسرعه. طفشان شكلك، تعال يبغاك تتسلى. يلا اعطيهم الانستركشن، خليهم يروحوا على الطاولات اللي برا عندهم. مين اللي ناديته؟ باقي واحد. تعال خش صور كمان جوا يا مصور. اشتغلوا جوا على شغلات ثانيه. مع الشباب دول يلا. سيب السيدات يشتغلوا شغلهم وتعال معاي. تعال معاي. انتظروني هنا عند الباب. ايش؟ اختي الكريمه ايش اسمك؟
انا ساره.
ساره، تعالي تفضلي يا ساره معي، سيبي لي في يدك. تعال معانا. تعال 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 تعال. يلا اسمع من الاخت هنا، تعال هنا تعال تعال. خذ 3 فابريكس ات راندوم وجوين التيم حقك اللي كان على الطاوله هنا. واشتغل معاهم على 3 ات راندوم. 3 بيسز اوف فابريك ات راندوم. خليكي في الطاوله حقتك. نفس هذا التيم، لا لا هذا التيم حقك مو التيم حقك، خليكي مع التيم حقك. لا مره انت المفروض تعالي برا هنا انت معاهم، انا اقول وين الرابعه؟ تعالي. اعطيها فابريكس. التيم ما في تغير اللون. يلا يلا. فين التيم اللي كنت معاه برا؟ انا اقول يا ربي وين الرابعه؟ شوفي مين فيهم؟ معاها مع الدكتور هناك، مع الدكتور هناك. يلا يلا بسرعه بسرعه. يلا يا جماعه خلصوا. Come on guys, it's 300 pieces only. Just ايش تسوون؟ ها؟
هذا مثل الكورنر الاخير.
يلا يا جماعه يلا تعال معي. تعال معي سيبهم تعال معي. تعالي يا اختي تفضلي معنا، سيبي لي في يدك وتعالي معنا. تعال. انت توك جايه؟ بتفهمك ايش الاكسرسايز، وانت توك جايه كمان ولا من اول؟ تعالي معنا يلا. الاخ اللي اللي شو اسمه؟ الاخ تفضل. يلا يا اعطيهم الله. Listen to her and go to your team outside. خليكم على الطاولات، ها؟ كل واحد على الطاولة اللي يسمعهم. عجلوا يا جماعة عجلوا. Are you having fun؟ تذكركم بالذكريات وانتم صغار، ها؟ يلا تعالي معي، انت متورطه في البازلز، تعالي معي. واحد منكم يا شباب، واحد منكم بس يجي معايا. كمل شغلك لسه وراك الله يعينك شغل. تعال يا شيخ معنا، تعال. طيب السلك بس. طيب السلك. تعالي يا اختي معنا. سيبيها خليها هي ما شاء الله شاطره، الحين تو جاي متاخر من عاقبه تكمل البازلز. يلا خليكم مع الاخت هنا. هنا خذي معاها. خذي منها الفابريكس. صورتهم اول ما بيشتغل. ممتاز. ما هو شرط، اتراندوم يا عمي تفضل. توكل على الله، روح هناك، روح مع فريقك. وين فريقك اللي شغال معاه؟ وكمل الشغل اللي معاه. ايش رايك تسيبيها خليها تشتغل وتعالي معايا؟ يلا انت لسه خليك شويه بس. طيب تيجي معانا يا اختي. ابو الشباب برا 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 برا. خلي الشنطه والأغراض حقتك. تعالي بس يلا بسرعه بسرعه. خذ من الاخت هنا اللي تبي تعطيك اياه وروح على فريقك اللي كنت معاهم قبل شوي. يلا عجلوا عجلوا يا جماعه. سابوكم وراحوا كذا قاعدين تشتغلون. يلا ثلاثتكم تعالوا. يلا ثلاثتكم تعالوا. ثلاثتكم تعالوا. سيبوا اللي في يدكم وسيبوها. تعالوا يلا. سيبيها يا اختي محلها وتعالوا. تعالي يا اختي. الحين نشوف. يلا باقي الثلاثة دول يلا. لسه حرجع يوم ثاني الحين. discuss الكويلز كلكم discuss it. لا يجوزون كذا. حتى لو غلت الطاولة يعني ضبطوا اموركم كذا. تحركوا. كيف حالك يا احمد؟ شو اخبارك؟ كيف صحتك؟
الله يبارك فيك. سلام.
Everyone. So all of you should come. We're going to see the first team, the second, the third, and the fourth, and then we'll enter. Let's go to the first team and see. هنا هذول التيم اللي هنا من الباب. اسمحوا لي بشوي. Who's the team over here? تفضلوا. What happened? نقلتوا منهم ولا ايش؟ لا. Okay, tell us.
We start to build our table with based on the size of the pieces.
Based on the size?
Yes.
Okay.
Because we want to make it in a good shape for the looking, and we arrange it again with the colors to make it more comfortable for the eyes.
So there are like certain clustering في بالكم كان مش كده لوجيك معينة تبعتوا مش كده ولا؟ To cover the gaps between the different. طيب let's give them a round of applause يا شباب. Let's hear to this team over here. تجالس ما شاء الله زي الملك طاولة. جالس يبيع عليكم fabrics. Yeah. Okay, so tell us about your quote. خلينا نسمع يا جماعة الدنيا قبل معلش. Have you listened to what he said? He said they reshaped it so many times, okay? Based on what you reshaped it so many times?
First of all, we want to have it in squares or decide to put it in a way that it could different colors, so we don't have two adjacent colors together.
Okay, two adjacent colors. But based on what you did the
Changes, more fabrics kept coming, so you could change it to make it more solid.
quality, the نفس الفابريك, خامة الفابريك and the colors and the shapes. طاولة حطينا على هيك, we made it cement, يعني to make it round and square.
Great. Let's give them a round of applause. Let's see the last team. Let's see the last team over here. Come on, where's the last team? ما في أحد هنا خايفين؟ Exploded? وين the last team يا جماعة؟ ما عندكم USB بعدين؟ ما في USB. Okay. Where is the last team? نفسوا. That's command, so you want to match the colors together, okay? Based on what you have like that, based on the fabrics, size, or just the colors? The logic behind it. Okay, let's get them around the place. Let's go back to the classroom. Enough of playing. Let's have serious work. Serious. طيب كان يقوم بي فيفر يا جماعه ترجعوا لطاولاتكم الاصليه بس لموا البازلز حطوها في الكرتون وخلوها عندكم تكرما بس. لا ما يحتاج تركبونها خلاص اديناكم كل الوقت اللي في الدنيا عشان تركبوها وما سويتوا شيء الله يصلحكم. طيب حطوها بس الله يخليكم عشان لا تضيع علينا عشان نستخدمها المره الجايه. يلا يا جماعة sit down originally in your original places. Sit down in your original places. ترى من أول الله يرضى عليك بلاك ما أبغى شكرا. يلا وين رايحة؟ تشردين؟ Okay. Chop let's start. How was it يا جماعة? The exercise was fun. ما تكلمت كثير ها؟ Okay, you guys were doing the work. Okay, you guys were doing the work. So, I have a question for you guys. Okay, how many of you, and I want you to be very honest, and there is no right or wrong answer. Don't worry about that. I want you just to think, how many of you preferred the puzzle and why? So you say to me, yes, I preferred the puzzle, and this is my reason. And how many of you preferred the quilt and why? Let me see first of all the hands for those who preferred the puzzle. اللي حبوا البازل. اليد فوق لو سمحتوا فوق. Okay. Okay. What about the quilts? المفروض الباقي يحبوا الكويلتس يعني اللي في النص دول مشكلة. Okay. Okay, good. So for those who preferred the puzzles, okay, why did you like the puzzles? And I want you to tell me and be very frank. تفضل انت وبعدين ناخذ من الباقيين. يلا تفضل. Clear what? In front? In points. Okay. So you know where you are heading. Okay. Carry on. Tell me more. You have the picture. Okay. There's a vision there. تفضلي. Okay. Excellent. So let me ask a question for those who preferred a puzzle. You preferred the puzzle? Okay. What have you done as a team the first moment you saw the picture when you started to connect the puzzle?
We distributed the work, so I work on, for example, collecting the parts regarding the sky, while the others collecting the other parts. So we worked as a teamwork, very arranged, encouraged me to think. So yeah, that's why I like it more.
Okay. Let's see from another table. You guys, you preferred the puzzle? Who preferred the puzzle here? Inti? Okay, tell me why.
First thing we do.
Let's listen to Jama'a. One talk, please.
Separate or color. Another thing, make a frame.
Make the frame. So she was talking about the edges. So some of you were focusing what? On clustering the puzzle pieces based on what? Colors. مش كده? And some of you were like focusing on clustering the puzzle based on what? The edges. مش كده ولا يا جماعة؟ This table over here, who prepared the puzzle by the way? غريبة. تفضل يا. ليش؟ Yes.
To me it's challenging, but to me it's hard that we're foreigners and Manitoba, so it was the connection and all of us immediately going in and.
This was challenging. حرام عليك. 300 pieces. It's not that difficult, you know. So.
Well, for a group of people that I don't know if they're.
So, but tell me about the dynamics. Was it?
The joy behind it. No, we're having fun doing it together.
Okay.
This was the process. You had the plan picture.
اسمع يا جماعة، اسمع ايش بيقول زميلنا هنا، ايش يقول ايش؟ It was a process. عندنا plan وعندنا picture. What else? This is what.
Teamwork.
Teamwork.
Okay.
You take the edges, you take the blue color code, we might have an
Excellent. Excellent.
The purpose of the puzzle is clear. يعني you have picture, you collect the pieces for this picture.
أنا خلاص هخلص الورشة، خلصت الحين. Any input from this side؟ تفضل.
Organization and planning.
Organization and planning. Okay, you have a clear vision. زي ما الأخت الأخت ما شاء الله باين. She's so into the vision. طيب. And you know, زي ما قالوا الزملاء هنا, you have a clear plan. It's very well determined, and you just go and do it. مش كده ولا؟ And you divide the task accordingly.
I think the logic behind it, engaging with puzzles.
Okay.
It's a logical, there is at least there is a logic behind it.
Okay.
Unlike
There is a strategy. Okay. So the strategy, because you know where you are going. Okay. Cool. طيب. Let's hear now from الحزب الآخر. Okay. The quills. Who love the quills? And I need to listen why. And you have to tell me why. I'm going to أبدأ بيك. وأنت وبعدين هنا وبعدين هنا. تفضل.
Give you the potential for creativity and thinking out of the box.
In what sense? هذا كلام حق منظرين. Tell me something that happens. I'm not, by the way, معلش, no one should be يعني offended يا جماعة. ترى أنا أمزح كثير. واللي يزعل يقول لي ترى يا دكتور لا تمزح معي، حمزح معه زيادة. Okay?
It's look like risk management because you give something, it's not secret, and
طيب.
you need to.
بس معلش خلينا نسمع نكمل فكرة زميلك وبعدين نرجع لك ثاني. أبشري. تفضل.
What I mean, there is a many way to think about how the end shape will be. So there is no certain shape, there is no certain goal for this process, and you can make yourself proud. Anything you can make with this.
Excellent. تفضل.
For clustering, we have different similarities.
But they are at random, right? Every one of you was asked clearly that pick up 3 fabrics, regardless of the size, regardless of the colors, regardless of the fabric type. مش كده ولا؟
You can come up with different similarities.
Excellent. So you were like trying just to cluster them. Exactly. Be creative. نسمع من الأخت اللي قالت أنت رافع يدك. تفضلي. معلش ترى أنا أحب كذا أرجع للناس اللي رافعين يدهم عشان بس يعني ما نضيع الفرصة عليهم. تفضلي.
There is no systemic way to follow. It is open mind. Similarly, I can choose any way to combine the pieces based on colors or sizes or anything.
So you use the available resources in your hand. This is what you are saying, regardless of the, you know, the color, the type, whatever. Excellent. نسمع من هنا. في أحد كان رافع يده هنا أو هنا؟ تفضل يا أختي. أنت عندك سؤال؟
With the quilt it was better than not the expected outcome. Like you're just working with what you have, and then you get the outcome, which would be whatever you want upon how you prepare.
Okay. So let's move forward and discuss and analyze what happened. And I love honestly what you have said so far. Now let's talk for a while about a few things. First of all, there's something called prediction or causal reasoning. Prediction or causal reasoning. A pattern of thinking and acting based on the assumptions that the future is going to behave a way similar to the present and the immediate past. بمعنى, to the extent that we can predict the future, we can control it. To the extent that we can predict the future, we can control it. Okay? It involves using analytic methods, inferring, and extrapolation. ايش صار معاكم في البازل؟ There was a clear vision. You know where you are going. You can predict the result. You use analytic methods. Why? Let's collect them cluster them based on the colors. مش كده؟ Let's collect the edges. مش كده ولا لا؟ You take this part, I take this part. We have all these means together, and we know with time we're gonna hit our objective, our target. Now, prediction reasoning, it's called managerial thinking or causal reasoning. Okay, you have so many means, okay, to reach a certain goal. Or you can have what's called strategic thinking, creative causal reasoning, by which you can have new means, but again you have the same goal to achieve. Okay? How it works? You begin with a predetermined goal, the puzzle. You know where you are going. You have the pieces, you have the picture, عارف وين رايح, right? And then identify the optimal. What happened? Let's cluster the colors. Cheapest and fastest, حط الedges, حط whatever, صورة الأسد, صورة الطير, مش كده ولا يا جماعة؟ ها؟ Okay? Most efficient way to accomplish the objective. Let's look at the other side. This is called, reaction or effectual reasoning. This theory came out of University of Virginia in 2000, I think, and 7, and then Babson adopted this thing. It wasn't from Babson, by the way. It was from University of Virginia Darden Business School. It was a female, by the way, called Saravathi. She claims that there's something called entrepreneurial thinking or effectual or reaction reasoning. بمعنى, create and act. You create something, take an action, and then move again. You have so many imagined ends, okay, that change. You have n imagined ends, whatever n could be, 10, 20, million, given certain means. Okay? So, the future may or may not be like the past. But you don't have to spend a lot of time wondering how it will play out if you plan to create it. بمعنى, to the extent that we can control the future, we don't need to predict it. ايش صار معاكم في الquilt? واحد يجي, he has 3 pieces of fabric and he creates the quilt. He put it in a line or a square or whatever. مش كده ولا لا? Then another person comes with 3 new resources, 3 fabrics, with a different mind. لا. It shouldn't be done straight. It should be like a square. It should be, whatever. It should be clustered. It should be whatever. مش كده ولا لا? Every time one of you join the team outside, he brings a new resource. He brings a new mindset. He brings a new passion. He brings a new dream. So many imagined ends at the end. And you keep discussing, and you keep discussing, and you keep discussing. Okay? The process is as follows. You take an action, you learn from the action, and build off that learning and act again. It's iterative. The process here is iterative. Okay? لا. مش straight. خلي triangle. Let's collect the thick fabrics together and leave the soft ones at one side. مش كده ولا لا؟ Okay? Now, how reaction practically work? So اتكلمنا على prediction reasoning. قلنا we have one determined goal, and then you find the optimal, cheapest way to do that or to accomplish that goal. First of all, you find or think of something that you want. Okay? There's a desire over here. Then you take a smart step as quickly as you can, and under that there are like 3 things. 1, you act quickly with the means at hand. 3 fabrics. This is all what I have. Huh? 3 fabrics. This is all what I have. What do you know? We told you at random, build a quilt. This is all what you know. Okay? Who you know? For the time being, when you started, you were like 1 guy or 1 person. Then a second guy came. You became what? 2. And anything else that is available. Okay? The space, the location, whatever you have as a resource. Second part, stay within your acceptable loss. It doesn't matter if I put the quilts a straight line or I put them as a square. Okay? Because it's within my hands. Okay? I didn't lose that much. The loss is what? Affordable. مش كده ولا يا جماعة؟ ما نقص منكم شيء. Okay? Make sure that your smart step is never more than you are willing to lose should things not work out. إيش يعني we change this to this direction? That's fine. Probably it's going to be much better. And then bring others along. Why? Acquire more resources. Spread the risk. If you guys failed, if one guy was building the quilt alone, he might fail to achieve the objective. But when you are like 3 of you, and he will feel like a lot of anger, a lot of depression. But when you have a team, the risk has been divided among us. مش كده ولا يا جماعة? Okay? And confirm the quality of your idea. They will help you to do that. Okay? And the last step over the 3 steps, build on what you have learned from taking the step. Every time you act, the reality will change. This happened with the quilts, right? Every time someone comes again and you discuss, the shape of the quilt will change. The size will be increasing. The clustering will be different. You know, the display will be different. مش كده ولا يا جماعة? How many of you have written computer programs in their lives? I want to see hands up. Computer programs. Okay. For those who have written computer programs, did your programs work from the beginning? Okay. Then you do what? You analyze the errors. مش كده ولا? And then you compile again. It's not going to work again, right? مش كده ولا? Then you need to work again. And every time you build an experience until the program works. And even if the compilation is successful, if you put any input, you are not sure that the output will be accurate until you put certain outputs that you know for sure that they're going to be correct. This is entrepreneurial thinking. Sam?
Sometimes it takes 1 year to discover the bug.
Whatever. Exactly, you see? But every time you go through the code,
And the value of the data also.
but my analogy is that the way you think when you write computer programs is iterative. It follows the create and act, you know. No, it follows the create and act, you know, creation, the creation methodology. So, yes, exactly, exactly. So, going back to the exercise, this is prediction reasoning, okay, and this is the quilts. This is creation reasoning, okay. So. This is one of the things that we love about our workshops. We use practice-based learning activities so you guys can understand really what's going on deeply, you know, when you talk about these theories. And you see, if you analyze the difference between both, in prediction, you have large amount of information that are analyzed, the colors, the edges, whatever, and then you narrow down the options, مش كده ولا? You cluster, and then you set goals and make decisions. Here, it's the other way around. You start by what? Many, you know, little information, action, and resources, and then they will expand as the team, you know, become, you know, more and more. Yes? This is creation, yes. Yeah, here you know where you are heading. Here you have so many possible opportunities. You don't know where you're going to end at the end because you are going through these iterations.
Where do you think entrepreneurship fits?
We'll talk about this in a minute, okay? Just bear with me. So this is just a comparison. I'm not going to go through it. I'm going to give you just a slide later on. But, you know, prediction versus reaction, big planning here, here's small actions. You know, you had to plan, right? I saw you, I listened to you. Most of you are talking, okay, هنسوي كده, نعمل كده, مش كده ولا رتبها بالطريقة هذه. So you had to plan because you had a vision or a goal. Okay? Here you did small action. حطها كده, حطها كده, it doesn't matter. Okay? Wait until you get what you need. Start with what you have. It's totally opposite. It's a different concept. Okay? Avoid failure at all costs. Here you are embracing and leveraging the failure. مش كده ولا يا جماعة. Okay? Knowable. You know where you are heading. Over there, it's unknowable. So how can you navigate through this uncertainty? Who's this guy, by the way? Huh? Genghis Khan. Okay, and who's this guy? Columbus. Christopher Columbus, right? Okay. Reaction versus prediction. Coming back to your question, Doctor. Okay. This guy, he's a general, right? He has an army. Their plan is basically to go what? They have a plan. They have the army, the resources, and they're going to conquer fertilized lands. This guy is a navigator. He's navigating uncharted water. Although he was going to India, he ended up, you know, being in the US or like discovered America. مش كده ولا? So this gives you, you know, the difference. Prediction thinkers are like generals seeking to conquer fertile lands. Reaction or effectual thinkers are like explorers setting out on voyage into uncharted water. So the question that comes, when I'm going to use this logic or this logic? There is no right or wrong answer, as I said before. The creation complements prediction. So now your computer program example, once it works, you're going to use it as a subroutine to another program or another function. مش كده ولا يا جماعة? Okay? Creation or factual reasoning may not necessarily increase the probability of the success, may not, okay, of new enterprises, but reduces the cost of failure. You can afford to lose these fabrics. It's fine. The shape of the fabrics, it's okay. And by enabling failure to occur earlier, so let's start with 3, then 6, then 5, whatever, 9, still we can afford to lose and to fail at lower levels of investments. When prediction makes sense, you must predict. Alas, you know that this is a process. It's clear to you. Let's make it a process and move to something else. And when it doesn't, think about using creation. Okay, so let's move to another part of the. By the way, how many of you have got the case study that I sent via email yesterday? Okay, there's a challenge now with me in the workshop that I have a case. I'm gonna leave those over here, and then you can just like pass it away. You can read the case afterwards, but you need to bear with me, and I'll try to explain the story and then discuss with you the things. Okay, that's unfortunate. Right? So anyhow, the case study, it's a mini case, by the way, 3 pages. You can read it at your own later on. It's about Clorox and the green works. How many of us use Clorox? Of course, السيدات المفروض يكونوا عارفين Clorox يعني. وأيضا the men should know Clorox. Why? لأن هو اللي يروح يشتريها. Right? مش كده ولا يا جماعة? Okay? So I'm going to read, if you allow me, just for those who didn't read the case, little bit about the case. And then we'll move forward. I'm going to ask you certain questions. Here is the thing. Clorox is well known for so many years for their synthetic chemicals product. مش كده ولا? It's a bleach. مش كده ولا يا جماعة? And it dates back to 1913 with the introduction of bleach. فمن 1913 طبعا. Over the time, the company built its reputation by creating products that effectively cleaned and disinfected, thanks to its synthetic chemicals, base formulas, and then Clorox hallmark brands include Pine Sol and Formula 409, some of the most toxic, okay, chemicals basically. They are very toxic. And please listen to what I'm saying. This product is a chemical product. واضح ولا لا? This product is a chemical product. And by the way, don't take it, a weakness in the presentation because you didn't read the case. I'm trying just to explain the story and then we'll discuss it. Right? So, it says here, by 2005, the company had grown to more than 5 billion in revenues. 5 مليار in revenues, 2005. And expect for minor improvements to establish products. Clorox had not released a new brand in 20 years. ما طلعوا a new product in 20 years. While other industries might have moved towards environmentally friendly products, we're talking about what? Green products. Okay, products that are using, green whatever. Okay, حياك الله. Right? Now, while other industries might have been moving towards environmentally friendly products, the cleaning products industry remained primarily a chemical industry. You trust Clorox, right? كلكم السيدات وحتى الرجال يعني يشتروا Clorox خلاص by default. Of the 12 billion spent each year on cleaning products, the natural category, which is the green category basically, accounted only at that time for 1% of the market share. Okay? من 12 مليار. Okay? The green products at that time only accounted for 1%. Okay? Furthermore, there were considerable consumer barriers to green products, including perceptions of efficacy, availability in stores, and price. So there are like 3 challenges if you want to go with green products. Cost, availability in the market, okay, and basically the perception. Clorox is the best. And about product like Clorox, okay? So, my question is that, or my thing is that, 2 ladies inside the company were appointed to be vice president of Clorox to do R&D, if you like. And the thing is that the two ladies were thinking about the following. They were thinking about an opportunity. 1% of the share of the 20 billion, or so 12 billion, okay, is missing. How come? So it's little. How come we enter to that opportunity? And they were like looking into the market itself. They had a problem. They believe that many families, okay, have a negative opinion about chemicals. For example, they believe that children's development and possible links between chemicals and autism, التوحد, and also attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, اللي هو قصور الانتباه وفرط الحركة, is related to products like Clorox. Okay? And there were challenges that they faced. As I said, the product itself, the marketing, okay, and cost of existing products. How come a company, can you imagine a company like Clorox introducing a new product which is green? Can you imagine that? Who will believe them? ها جماعة. If I'm selling Clorox and then I say, okay, I have a green product over here, would you believe me as a company? I don't think so. For so many reasons. Number one is what? Why you don't believe me?
It's against your main flagship.
Exactly. Number one. Number two, what will be the challenge also from that point of view? Is it going to clean and kill the germs and remove the dirt as Clorox or not? مش كده ولا لا? And the third one is the price. You're going to be concerned. Why? Because at the time when they were thinking about introducing Greenworks, the price was as twice as the existing Clorox product. No one will buy, something more expensive because he's afraid of a chemical disorder or whatever. Okay? اللي معاهم الجوالات يخليهم معانا يا اخوان. And then there's a problem with the inconvenience. Where are they going to put them in the market? ما كانت موجودة على عرفه في الماركتس العادية in the US. The thing is that, just to summarize the case, and I really apologize, but you should read the case. I cannot explain everything in the case. But the thing is that what they have done, they were thinking about the problems with the environment, number one. They were thinking about the economical value. Okay, I want to get into the market and have a bigger share of the market. Okay? And they were thinking also about what? Well, exactly, which relates to the market. If I enter the market, I need to convince people that this is effective. And it should be as good as the original product. And the price should be also affordable. Okay? If not the same, but at least at a certain margin. What they have done, they worked on R&D. And they spent a lot of time visiting Europe. And they invested a lot of money. Okay? And they brought all of this together based on their passion. That we should focus on something related to the environment and something related to the economical value of basically, Clorox. And guess what? In order for them to have the public opinion with them, they collaborated with, منظمة, for promoting green products. Okay, they said, listen guys, okay, we have an opportunity over here. We're going to pay you something. Come and check our products and certifies that our products are good enough environmentally. And then they went to the market with a price which is only 20% higher than the basic, bleaches. Now, I'm going to show you a small video about Clorox and the Greenworks, and then, we'll have a question for you that I need you to address, basically. Okay, another problem with the voice. Sorry. Let us do this. I'm going to ask you questions. Pay attention.
Like this, also some minerals that we know, are sustainable,
ما جابوا لي قهوه معليش سامحني.
Once we get these,
مشي خلاص.
ingredients from these, sustainable products,
هذا.
they can be biodegradable also.
Clorox is hoping environmental
I need
science
coffee.
mixed
Plain
with
coffee.
marketing magic will boost its
Black
sales.
coffee.
While green cleaners began
Right.
in health food
تابع
stores,
معه.
they're now
هذه
almost
خلاص.
mainstream. But just because your dish soap is made with lemons and coconuts doesn't make it 100% natural. In fact, the closest thing to regulation in this business is a new green certification program funded by Clorox and its competitors. And while the new standards may be a step in the right direction, they still allow for controversial ingredients like synthetic dyes and fragrances. So why put any dyes and fragrances in your product?
The biggest reason I would say is because the consumer wants them and expects them, and it's part of the current behavior. So we have tested ones with and without dye, with and without fragrance, and really, in a lot of cases, the consumer in their behavior, is looking for an indicator of the product working, or an indicator of, when they spray it somewhere, if it's on a white tile, they want to be able to see where they're spraying. So there's some functionality to dyes, but mainly I'd say it's because us as consumers, we want to know that the product is working.
Green seems to be working for Clorox. It's managed to wrangle roughly 50% of the market. But big players like SC Johnson have caught the green bug too. And while competitors like Method and Seventh Generation are smaller, their guidelines are more eco-friendly. Still, for Clorox, a $5.5 billion company, GreenWorks makes business sense.
When you look at natural, it's still a niche, but it's a niche that is growing at an accelerated rate versus kind of the traditional cleaners when you compare what's in the marketplace today and what those growth rates are over the next 3 years. We're talking about natural growing anywhere between 10 to 15%. You're looking at your traditional segments growing anywhere between 1 and 2%, just based on forecasts.
Of course, there are other benefits to going green. In 2008, Clorox partnered with the Sierra Club, which lent its logo to GreenWorks. In exchange, the Sierra Club gets a percentage of overall sales, so far just over $1 million. Scoring a seal of approval from an environmental group is a win for Clorox, but a logo doesn't necessarily make a company green. The EPA fined Clorox for violating pesticide laws in 2007, and questions swirl about the environmental impact of bleach, the company's flagship product. So will we ever see a green bleach?
We're working on groundbreaking ways of making it, cleaner bleach, making it, in more environmentally friendly ways and things like that. And that's sort of what I see as the vision for, the rest of our portfolio too.
Okay, so I think you get the story, huh? Somehow the story. So I think if you read the case, inshallah, later on at home, you will grasp the concept. The thing is that they invested a lot in R&D. And they had so many challenges that they identified. They didn't know what's going to happen if they enter the market. And they had to, ally with associations like the Sierra Club, for example. Okay? Anyhow, I want you to think now for a moment and try navigating the social, environmental, and economical environments around you. You are from Riyadh, you are from this neighborhood, for example. Think about the social, environmental, and economical environment around you. What values can you bring in? And by the way, any great idea that happens over here, any great ideas, I'm going to have 60% of the shares. Okay? 60%. Okay? طيب عند الله طبعا مش عندي. So anyhow, think about it for 2 minutes or a couple of minutes. I'm going to just ask you and we'll debate a few ideas. For example, you see the garbage, Allah Azzakum, every day jammed with trash. That's something environmentally dangerous. مش كده ولا؟ It sucks, Allah يكرمكم, it brings disease, whatever. Okay, this is a challenge. How can you make something out of it? That's a challenge. Okay, this is one example. Okay, you have a farm. I'm sure that in farm you have something like, you can think about. Okay, so I gave you one in the neighborhood and one also in something urban. Think about it. هذا باي ذا واي البزنس كارد حق المعهد توزعونه. هذه البزنس كارد حق المعهد عشان تعرفوا ان احنا نوفيترز ايضا، ها مش بس انتم. البزنس كارد حق المعهد موجود عندك. هذا البزنس كارد حق المعهد يا اخوان. can follow us on Twitter, the website, whatever. بزنس كارد حق المعهد. لسه ما خلصنا ها؟ لسه باقي 2 sessions. ما جاب القهوة من الحين؟ لا لا تعال اجلس اشتغل على الاكسرسايز. اوكي دوكي. ها يا جماعة, who gonna volunteer to be the first to share with us, something that brings value to your environment? Huh?
Water fountain every school.
Water fountain to every school? موجود الwater fountains في every school.
It's not usable water fountain in every school in everybody.
Tell me what the aspects of the social, environmental, and economical, when it comes to that, what value economically, socially, and environmentally.
Okay, I tell you, a father of 5 who all go to school, and you will give each one of them one of this every day to drink there.
Okay.
You will spend in a school year 1,000. Okay. This is cost of money. Each one costs half a riyal.
Okay.
It's 500 riyal. So this is the
economical value. Okay.
how to get rid of it. This is the environmental.
Okay.
Okay.
The social.
Social.
But at least you get 2 values. Okay, no problem. This is all what you have discussed over here? Okay, good. Let's move to another table. نسمع منكم انتم. Do you understand what he said over here? Affording water fountains inside schools. Okay. Cool. خليكم معانا يا اخوات بس. نسمع هنا وبعدين نجيكم. ها. You haven't thought about anything? قولوا لهم boo, this team. I'm just joking. تفضل يا اخي. For males or females? We have a lot of etiquette, from our side. Okay. So what's the social part? I understand. What about the environmental and economical? Just social.
No, it can help environment. When you learn etiquette, I mean, when you learn basic etiquette, you can help the environment by not doing.
Give me an example. Convince me.
I don't have an example right now.
Okay. هذا جزء من الاتيكيت. Okay, cool. That's a new definition for me, but anyhow, I'll go along with you guys. Huh? What you have discussed?
Establishing like a small bank in each neighborhood.
In each what? Sorry.
In each neighborhood.
Neighborhood, a bank. So you want a bank?
Small bank or like a bank that can help blending the neighbors, the needy ones, but and some all the neighbors can guarantee that the one that who takes the money can return it.
Okay, so it's like a social جمعية, if you like. Okay, but there's like some governance around it, whatever.
It has economic and social values.
Economically, how it's going to help? Social, I understand.
Social economic, they will lend the money to the needy.
Okay, excellent. So it will fulfill a purpose for others. Excellent. فكرتوا في شيء ولا نرجع لكم ثاني؟ ها؟ ولا جاكم النوم؟ تقريبا؟ طيب. Okay, let's hear from you guys. Nothing? Boo. Okay? Huh?
Use of bag made of palm tree instead of plastic.
What's that?
Bags made of palm trees.
Okay, palm trees.
Instead of plastic.
Okay.
So you can take it to the city, you can take it, you know, I have found that sometimes I take, I go to the bakery, so instead of getting it in a plastic, I get it in this palm tree.
Okay, cool. Now, let's move to another final topic before we end this session, and we can have a break because I see some of you, start to sleep. You need coffee. It's heavy stuff, right? Okay. Now, the third element that we're talking about, we talked about creation and prediction. مش كده ولا? We talked also about social, environmental, economical values. And the third thing that I'm talking about is basically self and social awareness. There is something called IQ, intelligence quotient. I must know who I am and where I want my team to go. That's being smart. مش كده ولا يا جماعة? There are like standardized tests for IQ. But there's something called emotional intelligence or emotional quotient, okay? By which, as a leader, I must know how I am seen. Okay? Very important. لا يقولوا عنك شيء. This is very important, by the way. I must learn to relate well to others. If I see you guys sleeping, or I see someone playing with a mobile phone, immediately I just, make a contact. Okay? And I must know how to attract talented people like you guys. You came to this workshop because you are attracted to the workshop. I'm just joking, of course. But the thing is that this summarizes the difference between being smart and how you are perceived by others. You have to be, smart, and you know your capabilities, and also you need to understand how others evaluate you and see you. Now, there are certain statistics. Harvard School of Public Health predicts that by 2020, depression will be responsible for more lost work days in the developed world than heart disease. Can you believe that? When corporations hire MBAs, the three most desired competences are communication skills, interpersonal skills, and initiative. Okay? Another set of statistics and figures. 2/3 of the stress-related problems, and if you are a physician, probably you know what I'm talking about, from abusive, unsatisfying, limited, or ill-defined relationships. And that's true. With your boss, with your wife, with your husband, with your brother, with your, whatever. Okay? In 2009, the American Medical Association found that physicians who lack empathy get sued more often. How can I be like a physician without empathizing with my patient? Okay? Assertiveness, empathy, happiness, emotional self-awareness, and problem-solving skills are more predictive of sales success than background, gender, and sales techniques. I'm just stating here facts from reports. Studies of 500 organizations worldwide indicate that people who score highest on EQ measures rise to top of their organizations. And by the way, I'm bringing these statistics from the book called Emotional Intelligence Toolkit by Brendan McCann. Okay? Now, there are two things that we need to take care when we talk about emotional intelligence and also smartness. One is the personal competence. Determine how you manage yourself. Self-awareness, self-regulation, and motivation. And under all of these, you have certain things that you need to look into. For example, self-awareness, you have to look to your emotional awareness, accurate self-assessment, and self-confidence. In the regulation, you talk about self-control, trustworthiness, how people are seeing you, by the way, and how you believe these things in yourself. Achievement, commitment, initiative, optimism. These are coming from Goleman, who invented the emotional intelligence, by the way. He has a book called Working with Emotional Intelligence. Okay, sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead. We'll give you the slides, of course. Okay, of course. 1,000 riyals per slide. This is the social values here. The environmental, I'm not printing anything except a few slides. And then the economical, I'm going to make some money for me and the university. Yeah, you can do that. Oh my God. Okay. This is a hazard. Right. The other part is the social competence. Empathy, which means understanding others, developing others, service orientation, leveraging diversity, political awareness. It's very important. And also you have social skills, influence, communication, conflict management, leadership. All of these things come under this category. You know, I went to Harvard to a course called Middle Management program. It's about higher education. The School of Education provide that for 2 executive intensive weeks. And they let us read a book before the course called Reframing Organizations. How you see the world based on 4 frames. So because if you manage to see others and understand others, then you manage to play with and reframe things accordingly. So some people, you'll find them towards always, they're human-centric, They have emotions towards human and work towards the human all the time. Some people, you see them structured. خلاص, process. نجي الساعة 7, نجي الساعة 8. Show me the process. How this is going to work. These are the structured frame. And some people are always using the symbolism. Okay, we are Saudi Arabia. We are the Muslims. We are whatever. It's symbolic when they talk and they think. It's something for the nation, as we talked. If you remember, about the job creation and what we are doing back home at KFPM. And the fourth element is the politician, the guy who's always, going right and left to make sure that always he's a friend with everyone. Okay, and every one of us mentally has a certain weight of these 4 frames. Okay, so what we're going to do now with you guys, simple exercise. We want you guys to take this exam. It's a small exam, and keep it for yourself. So what I found, first of all, there is some reading material about this. It's supposed to be a reading material for this, so you can share it. And also we put for you a test about your emotional intelligence. It's an assessment, basically. So you can do it for yourself, keep it for yourself, and repeat this assessment after 6 months, and see how you move forward. Okay? I didn't do this assessment. It's available. There are like thousands of assessments. But I found this one very useful. And believe me, I do it for myself every once in a while. If you look to me, and by the way, I'm not shy to say this. 5 years ago, and you look to me now, I'm different. Okay? These things work. If you are really serious about improving yourself, these things work. So I'm going to just drop some of the copies, and then you guys can share it, and just do it later on. I think we are doing very well on time. So maybe you can spend 5 minutes, look at these assessments, and then, you can work it out later on. But be frank with yourselves. The most important thing is that you be frank with yourselves. هذه الماتيريال تقرونها تساعدكم على الايموشنال انتليجنس. هذه زايده؟ شكرا. هذه زايده نشوفوها وبرسل لكم اياها بالايميل لو ما حصلتوها. طيب. في زايده عندك يا اختي؟ طيب ناقص عندكم؟ I'm sorry. We'll email it to you, by the way. And by the way, the scores by which you can find yourself where to need to improve are at the end, the second page. So after you do the assessment, you'll see the range, the values, okay, for every one of you. And you have to be extremely frank, ya jama'ah. No one will see those results except you. So be honest with yourselves to maximize the benefit. Where is my coffee, ya Sheikh? Shukran. Shukran. That is there. Thank you. Yes.
Still kind of problem with defining the term of emotion.
العاطفة.
I know.
Okay. So.
Does it involve feelings?
Everything, because this is the way, the mechanism by which you work with yourself and others. Always you work based on your emotions, input and output. I just come and do like this to you, and then you come back and you have a reaction. How are you going to react to that? Okay, so it goes back to your emotions, fear of anger, fear of like happiness, fear of sadness, whatever. Okay, so it's a whole theory, by the way. It's the whole theory. People, do workshops on emotional intelligence.
No, I mean, I think I've just read the question because emotions is a little bit complex term.
Just try to understand the question itself. Yes, and just answer it. Because it's a range at the end. ترى القهوة اللي جبنا إياها بموية مالحة يا. شكلها موية مالحة. نقول جبنا القهوة بموية. Please, I need some caffeine and sugar, Hi, Jamaa, how's it going? Are you surprised, shocked with your results? Or you are doing okay? أنت ما عندك الورق ها؟ And I think next time they need to announce it via tweet or whatever, such workshops. So. Okay, the question that comes next, and we're going to end up here and then we have a break, is that, Dr. Weil, for the last 1 hour almost and whatever, 20 minutes, we have been talking about reaction versus prediction. مش كده ولا؟ And then we talked about the social, environmental, and economical values. And then we talked about emotional intelligence. For what? Okay? بنيت الكلت هذه for what? What is the end product at the end? Huh? To improve leadership skills. That's a good question. Excellent. What else? Increase awareness.
How to react with the environment, adapt with the new things.
Exactly, that's wonderful. The studies show, I'm just giving you now the fact. I showed you now the things in practice. The studies shows that entrepreneurial leaders, they balance between the three things. Okay? They develop this mental model, okay, that support the power of human action to create and build a better world. So you see them always going between prediction and reaction. Okay? They are always, looking into the social, environmental, and economical responsibility and sustainability. And they always self and social aware about themselves and about others. So they balance always. This is the research. It's not me. Okay? So if you want to be a leader, entrepreneurial leader, you have to adapt those and balance them. Okay, Jamaa? Are you happy? ما اسمع يا بسمع يا. Okay, are you happy? Yes. Okay. Fine. Short break, 10 minutes, and we'll be back. Let's recap quickly on what we have discussed previously. 2 sessions before, we talked about what is entrepreneurship, what is leadership, what is entrepreneurial leadership, and why it's important to lead all types of organizations in the current era, in our, within our context now. And then we talked about what composes the mental, frame of an entrepreneurial leader. مش كده ولا؟ we talked about balancing between the reaction and the prediction reasoning. Okay, being self-aware and about ourselves and also about others. Okay, or being aware about us and others. And the third one was looking always to the values and the opportunities between the social, environmental, and economical values. Now, we're going to talk also a bit practical, okay? A bit practical. And I'm going to warn you, this session is a bit heavy. It's not that heavy, but it's a bit heavy. Because so many people have been reporting that entrepreneurship is wonderful. It's a wonderful, thing that you're going to do, whatever. The reality, everything in life, you have to pay a price. Huh? And there's like a famous poetry in Arabic. It says, وَمَا نَيْلُ الْمَطَالِبِ بِالتَّمَنِّي وَلَكِنْ. And also, if you want to have something really of high-end, high position, they say what? لا تحسبن المجد تمرا أنت آكله لن تبلغ المجد حتى تلعق الصبر. فدول الناس اللي يجوا يقولوا الحياة حلوة let's move ahead and life. This is good. It's inspiring, but we have to be also realistic. Okay? Anyhow, this is our own theory. This is what we have from our experience, from our readings, from our research. We have came up with these 4 things. You should think about the following if you want to be effective as an entrepreneurial leader. The way you operate is very important. The way you brand yourself is very important. Remember, you want people to follow what you say. They go around or after what? A person, not about the strategic plan. Okay? How to focus, because focus is an extremely important thing. And then how can you transfer this, leadership skills and competencies to others, become a multiplier. At the end, you have a mission in this life. You have a mission in this life, and you want to hand over whatever values you have to others. And this is important also for entrepreneurial leaders. So let's go through this one by one. Okay? So, the way you operate. There's a book written by Masterson called The Reluctant Entrepreneur. It's published in 2012. This guy says that he sold tens of companies. By the way, remember, every time we think about entrepreneurship, we think about Apple, we think about whatever that is, in the social media. But there are like zillions of SMEs who are contributing to the GDPs, globally. In the US, 80% to 95% of the contributions to the GDP are coming from, SMEs.
What's the abbreviation of that? What's
GDP اللي هو الناتج الإجمالي المحلي. Okay? GDP. Okay? It's coming from SMEs. Do you know between 1993 and 2010, the large corporates have fired 4 million people in the US. The SMEs at the same period hired 8 million. So they impact the economy in terms of the GDP, in terms of also the employment. Okay? And this guy had so many SMEs, so many companies, and he's sharing his experience. And one chapter in the book talks about, these 16 things. Number 1, if you want to have a successful, realistic startup or SME, you should focus on motivating others to do great work. Motivation is very important. Okay? Of course, you should look for the best people, and you need to motivate them, to keep them, functioning. Focus on work, not politics. Okay? فلان قال، فلان عاد، فلان مش عارف شكله، هي قالت، هي عادت. Let's think bigger. Where we should be going. Okay? We should be staying focused on our work. Understand that competition has its place in business, but it's not nearly as important as cooperating and sharing. And this is basically a problem. You need to create an environment where people collaborate and cooperate together. You need to do that. Care about your customers. Of course you care about your customers. Darden Business School have done a study in 2012 among the most successful high growth companies in the US, SMEs, I'm talking SMEs, high growth. And they also analyzed 60 leaders of those organizations. And what they have discovered is that number one factor when it comes to those leaders is that always they care about their customers. Always they go back, not to sell them a new product, but rather, let's focus on the customer and their needs. Let's see what are their pain points, their desires. Okay? This is what, they should do. You should make fast decisions as well. It's very important. Get an idea, test it, see how it works. Within your affordable loss, if it works, alhamdulillah. If not, what went wrong, fix it and move again. Okay? Know how to get support of your ideas. You need to go through the organization. If you are in university and you want to initiate a new program, go and talk to the relevant people that you believe they're going to be allies with. If you are in a company and you need something from a different product line or business line, go and, initiate a network and talk to them. And let them speak on your behalf to the management. Let it come also from them rather than only from you. Know how to delegate. Of course, if you have a new employee basically, you need to micromanage him at the beginning, right? Because he needs to get used to the work. But you don't, micromanage everything that he does. In fact, when they are delegated, they will feel what? Empowered. They will feel responsible. And then they will what? Be able to do what? Deliver. مش كده ولا يا جماعة؟ Are you following what I'm saying ولا لا? Exactly. Well, this is one way, one leadership style is called the delegator. Okay, but here you have to balance between all of these. Okay, do not micromanage. I talked about that. You have to create also a culture of accountability. If you hold them accountable for what they're doing, then they will work and deliver. We initiated a grant at KFPM for our entrepreneurs with no investment in return. 50,000 for those startups who want to have service-based, applications or whatever, and 100,000 riyals for high tech. And we told them, listen, we're going to give you this money, okay? But it's going to be, first of all, on milestones. And then after every milestone, we pay you that money. To get the next milestone payment, you have to show us what you have done with that money. It's free money, but you have to be accountable for that. Now, understand that teamwork doesn't always work. How many times you're working in your organization and you believe that the team will do it and you ended up doing it yourself? How many times? So many times. تضحكين ها؟ صح ولا لا؟ How many times you face that? Many times, okay? Sometimes you need to do the work. I have my life in front of me. I'm not going to wait for others to do it, but you empower people, you encourage teamwork, but sometimes if you're running such an organization, you have to do the work by yourself. Be a good communicator.
Sometimes they are not accurate as you are.
Well, listen, you can make them accurate. You have to be patient with them. But there are like certain things that you don't want them to touch if you want to make sure that you want it to be accurate. For example, we have a forum, the prince is coming. I'm not going to leave my team, run the forum by themselves. I have to be with them in every aspect. Okay? If we have a workshop, okay, this is the first time we do it in Asbar, for example. We want to make sure that we deliver it at the best of our, and I'm serious. Why? This is sort of a marketing for us. This is an opportunity. Okay? So this notion is bad. Well, it's not good, basically. It's not bad. It's not good. Okay? But you have to sometimes interfere. So be a good communicator, as we said. Why? If they understand what you're talking about and you understand what they're talking about, then the company work will improve, it will enhance. You have to communicate your message and your thoughts to them. You cannot hold them accountable for something that they have done without you being very articulate and very clear with them about what you want to send them. Now, make every meeting work for you. I want to ask you, what do you do when you have meetings? Meetings. You want to call for a meeting. You have an agenda. Minutes of meetings. But how is the setup is done? Lead the communication. What else? Curiosity questions.
There is a purpose for the meeting.
Purpose of the meeting.
But the reality sometimes is not action, or it may be taken by one or two people. So so we can go out of the tangent and talk about other issues. That's what I realize sometimes.
People who have, they talk a lot and,
Some of them are really
Make sure that every attendee has something to do with it.
you know, of course you said the agenda, that's important. But what you want to discuss in the agenda are the items itself within the agenda. The action. No, it's not only that. You have to think before the meeting what you want to achieve from every agenda item. I need you to do this. I need him to do that. How you can be persuasive to your team. Maybe you need to talk to people and ally with some of your team members to also help you, let others buy in whatever you're going to say. It's not about only having an agenda, let's go for a meeting and take the actions and we move. Okay? It has to be very well planned. Setup, scenario. It's like writing a scenario for a movie. Exactly, well, managing the time. At the end, you need to have the meeting that works for your business.
I think being punctual is very important. I think we are having this problem, but I'm not going to mention my institution.
Yeah.
We never start, we rarely have started at time and finished on time as well.
You rarely?
So, in some issues or with some agendas, we sometimes, as you have just mentioned, sometimes we take more than what is expected to discuss just one point, or just one issue or one topic. I think it's very important for the meeting leader or responsible to divide time.
Can you switch off the cam for a second? Switch it off. So again, what happens at Asbar Vegas stays at Asbar Vegas, so. هذه بتشيلها من المقطع ترى على فكرة. طيب شكرا. طيب. Now, what's next? The next thing is basically know how to negotiate. How many times, and you have to be honest and frank with me, you had negotiated something in the meeting and you end up fighting with your colleagues. Again, we're going to just keep it a secret among us. I want to see hands. In the meeting, ارفع يدكم وش فيه؟ Okay? ما ضربتوا مع أحد؟ مسالمين ما شاء الله. Fighting, not literally fighting. ما احنا بمصارعة هنا. We're talking about shouting and argument. A lot of arguments. Exactly. But sometimes even it can go. Yeah. That's exactly right. It became personal. It becomes personal. رأيي against رأيك. Okay. What shall you do in these? Sorry.
Interact things together. So responsibility is making people don't know where they are.
But the thing is that you end up being enemies to each other. Or يكون في شيء في خاطرك على زميلك أو زميلتك. مش كده ولا لا? This is usually the case. How would you deal with such a situation?
Like have a session afterwards and clear things out, design, apologize, and clear the air, and continue on focusing on the real issue rather than the personal conflict. It's not about us, it's about what we're talking about.
Okay. Why should you apologize in the first place if you can do something much better? It's a skill. Okay? It's a skill.
Designing it, before apologizing, we design. So we design, أول ما نبدأ السيشن, we design how we are going to communicate. We basically are proactive and say, we will argue, we will do this, but we are not, one of the rules is we don't take this personally.
Okay. So,
Strike a win-win situation.
okay, I love this. Tell me more about this. Tell me.
I used to work for as a buyer, so all the time suppliers would come to us, oh, have this promotion, I have this, have this, that. No, I don't like it. Okay, so what do you want? More promotions, more savings, more rebates, more whatever. Because in the day I have to consider the customer, who is the ultimate winner in here.
Okay.
So, and convince them that, okay, more discounts would mean more exposure, more share of shelf for you. These are the things that they really want from supermarkets.
Okay.
The profits are not getting from the grocery store, they're getting their profits, not from us.
Any other thoughts about negotiations?
If you focus on what you are here to do, most of the time take a different direction, different
Excellent.
Can I build on it after this win-win situation? Something just popped up.
Okay.
And here, no compromising. We all end this with you get what you want, I get what you want, and we both agree that we move forward, no compromising.
Okay, I'm going to recommend to you guys, and I'm going to send the links later on, 2 books that you should probably consider if you want to really go around tough negotiations. And these are done by a guy called William Ory. Okay, U-R-Y. Okay, William Ory. W. Ory. Okay, this guy has been working with the U.S. Secretary of State for, I think, more than 35 years. And he attended so many heated discussions and diplomatic meetings. And you know how it works with diplomatic meetings. Whatever we see in reality is the shake hands and the nice meeting and greeting. But inside, of course, there must be some tough discussions and tough meetings. And he has a strategy. And allow me just to talk about a few of them, and then you can read it. The book is called, Getting Past No. Okay? Negotiating in Difficult Situations. This is the book. It's 2007. Getting Past No. So, he said, each of us faces tough negotiations with an irritable spouse or husband, عشان لا تزعلون, a domineering boss, a rigid salesperson, زي صاحبك هنا, okay, a tricky customer, and so on and so forth. Under stress, this is what he's saying in the book. Even nice and reasonable people can turn into angry, intractable opponents. هذا صحيح. Negotiations, consume our time, keep us awake at night, and sometimes affect our health. This is true. And then he said, negotiations are preeminent from this form of decision making in personal and professional life. So the steps that they recommend is basically as follows. First of all, you need to think as a joint problem solving. You sit together. How can you bring their attention that this is a common problem? It's not only for me, it's for you. What is best for the organization, and so on and so forth. Okay? And then he talks about barriers to cooperate. My reaction and your emotion. These are things that we need to also take into account. Their position. He might be your boss, by the way, that you negotiate something with him. He has more edge and more power and authority on you. مش كده ولا لا؟ And then their dissatisfaction and their power. Now, the strategy is what's called the breakthrough negotiation. First of all, you have to imagine that you go, when the discussions become heated, imagine that you are sitting on a balcony, on a high floor, and watch the scene happening below. This is number 1. So you have to take a deep breath. Seriously, this is what he was saying. Go to the balcony. It's the go to the balcony strategy. Step to their side. Yeah, doctor, I'm with you. This is very important. Okay, what you have said is extremely important. And you never say but. You say at the same time. And we need to do something like that. Or at the same time we need to do something like that. And we believe that we need to do that. And by the way, it's not a matter of win-win. Maybe it's not win-win, but you need to compromise as well. You need to come to a certain point by which you two talk together. And then you need to reframe. So now once you see the scenario, you now can move things accordingly. And it's not easy. That's what he's saying. It's not easy to reframe. Build in a golden bridge. There's a Shining saying, they build a golden bridge by which you tell them, here what I'm offering to you. So even yourself is giving up some of the things that you want. You need a compromise, okay? And then use power to educate. Sometimes tough decisions that some people have to take, you need to educate them. Send them a report about the topic. Indirect. Send them a quote. Do a presentation. Educate them. Okay? Once, twice. Don't give up. Be persistent. Okay? So, anyhow, I have written my notes from the book. I summarized a lot of things. I can share it with you via email if you want later on. So, it's very important, by the way. It's very important. And I'm saying this, and it's taking me, and I'm still learning, by the way. It takes me a lot of time just to move forward. Yes?
How is this similar or different than the BATNA, the best opportunity? Is that considered a strategy, BATNA?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. But the thing is that what I like about His work is that he's doing that based on his real work, experience. It's not somebody who waked up from sleep and say, let me put these 5 or 6 things, and you go and follow that. Now, be considerate. What does it mean to be considerate in your organization? You have to respect others. Even if you know that they don't know anything about what they're talking about, give them their respect. الاحترام هذا حتى في الدين عندنا موجود. Okay? Don't become buddies with your employees. You listen to their challenges, but you don't come and say, for example, my wife didn't cook for me yesterday and I had a big fight. Or you allow him to do that because you need to maintain this شارة معاوية, okay, as they say, this boundary, so he can respect you, and this is professional. We're talking here about, we are not friends. I'm not saying my theory. I'm talking about the guy who sold so many companies of hundreds of millions of dollars, and he wrote this book, The Restaurant Entrepreneur. I like his thing. Okay? And then, yes.
Small business, all the time you see friends are working together. There is no boss. We're all working together. We're doing everything.
But no one has said that it's not teamwork. Teamwork doesn't mean that I come and put my personal problems on your table, or you put your personal problem. Maybe on one-to-one, if there is like a certain situation that really requires that you explain this so you can have a leave of absence, or you need to take a vacation, or you need an increase in salary, or whatever, maybe you can do that. But in principle, you need to maintain this relationship. I take my, by the way, staff and employees every month to the Gulf Chinese restaurant. And we chat and we make jokes and whatever, but nothing is personal, just like human being chat. Okay, human being jokes. Okay, but I never came, for example, I told them like, I had this problem with my, boss or with my family or with my kids or whatever. Never. We chat in general, and we talk about football. This is teamwork. Okay? And then the last one is that he says, zig whenever others zag. So as a leader, you must stay true to your own vision. It might be amazing, it might mean zigging when everyone in industry is zagging. Just focus. The thing is that, so many times in your organization, other competing organizations will come and say, we did this, and then they have the media, they have whatever. And your people come and say, what are you doing? Why are you not doing like that? If you know that you are doing the right thing, just focus. ما تكون إمعة. Excuse my language, right? Focus on the thing. As far as you are, And I give an example. For so many years, people have criticizing us, where are your startups at KFPM? Where are your entrepreneurship impact? This is true. So many people are already in the social media. But when you think now, and Dr. Suleiman, you remember, he mentioned something. The government, when it comes, or organizations, when they come, they trust us to deliver programs. They give us contracts because they know that we are doing the right thing. I'm not saying the others are not doing the right thing. I'm saying when it comes to the mission of a university. And then you can carry this and look at it and reflect it on your organization. Now, I warned you, the session is a bit heavy. The second one is the way you brand yourself. Michael Bersham, the one I told you about, has a 5-step, basically, branding yourself or, developing your brand. First of all, you need to understand what is the status quo of your current brand. What is your current brand? The status quo of the brand that you have. Okay? So, reflect on the elements that make you authentic. These are very important. Number 2, what he's recommending is decide how you wish to be known. So, the key to powerful brand is become single-minded. Instead of trying to be all things, to all people, determine, okay, what is the one key personal attribute that if you are known for its industry-wide would be a game changer for you and your career. Okay? We said from day one at the EI, we're not going to focus on the startup. We're going to focus on creating the value for our students. If they graduate and work as entrepreneurs, opening businesses, that's fine. If they work for Aramco, that's fine. Because they're going to use these skills and competences, through the pedagogical values that we are already imposing on them or planting in them. Okay? The third step is that choose to become world-class at one thing. You cannot do everything, at one time. Be well known for one thing. Because at the end, when they want to look for an expert on this thing, they're going to come to you. Build your transformation map. So everyone, after you do these assessments and you know exactly where you stand, where you're going to reach at the end. Okay, where you're going to go. So you have to put a map. And then you have to execute the plan. How many of times you have made a plan and you never execute that? And then you say, I'm staying at my situation, my current situation. I'm here at this place. I didn't move an inch. Because you're not acting. You're not taking an action. Planning is good, but action what matters. The third thing is how to focus now. This is another important aspect. You need to study your business model. And by the way, business models, in our opinion, can work even for organizations. I mean, even non-profit organizations, even like universities. 4 questions that we ask ourselves always when we enter a new product to our students, for example. What is the problem that we're trying to solve? Number 2, what is the solution that we are offering to address that problem? Number 3, how relevant it is. The relevant is very important. What we mean by relevant is that why now, why not later? That's very important. And the 4th one, how we can make profit out of it. Financial, whatever, These are the 4 things that we have to ask all the time about the business model. Follow trends in other industries to learn and not to change. You remember the zigzag, the thing that I told you about before? Here, it's good to know what others are doing. There are like some technologies that are there. How can you utilize some of those technologies to the thing that you are good at? I'm good at engineering. Let me learn from business so I can enhance my leadership capabilities, for example. Okay? Celebrate success more. I told you I take my team every month. And by the way, when we won, for example, the Biban Award for being the best university in the kingdom that supports entrepreneurship and SMEs from the SME Authority, this September, I took them also, and again we took a dinner, a nice dinner. Something simple to recognize their efforts, to let them enjoy and have fun and come back more energized to the work environment. Understand all the problems the company faces. How many times have you sat with your customers, your clients, your employees, your students, and listened to them? Honestly speaking, how many times? Let's say in 1 week. This is a major problem. You need to sit with them. Sometimes you see problems coming and they escalate because you didn't fix it from the beginning. It's like a snowball effect. You'll not be able to stop it. Exactly. Kill the monster. Okay, I'm not going to comment on that. دموية شكلك ما شاء الله. Right. Spend time with the people. You have to sit with your staff. You have to sit with your students. Allow them to speak, even if they don't talk sense. Sit with them, listen. Maybe they can allude you to something that you never thought about. Reward execution and make corporate culture as a priority. What is the corporate culture of Google, for example? Innovation, right? What is the corporate culture of KFPM? Sincerity, structure, leadership. This is what we believe. You see people working from 7:30 to 4 o'clock every day. I'm talking about deans, I'm talking about chairs, I'm talking about director himself. There's discipline. This is what's something that we are very well known at. As part of the culture, 40% of our classes, by the way, or 30% of our classes at 7 o'clock in the morning. By 10 o'clock, 70% of our classes are done. Why? Because Aramco, our neighbor, is the major hiring agency to our product, our students. So we want to make sure that our customers are satisfied. At least the students will have an opportunity to wake up earlier to go 7 o'clock to the work when they graduate. You are a graduate of KTM, you know how difficult it is. Okay? So, the last thing that we're going to talk about in this session, and then we'll break for prayer, right? Because you said it's time for prayer. Is that how to be a multiplier. You have this all of us have this knowledge, this know-how, this leadership skills, this mindset. But again, it's a shame and it's a losing opportunity that if you don't share it with others, you don't empower others to take it from you and inherit it. Okay? طيب من سن سنة حسنة فله أجرها وأجر من عمل بها مش كده ولا? Even Islam is talking about this. So there's a book by Wiseman, it's called multipliers, how best leaders make everyone smarter. And there is a reason for that. Pragmatically speaking, if you surround yourself with smart people, train them and empower them and make them even better than you, what will happen at the end to your organization? It will go up. And who's going to claim all the success at the end? You guys, the leaders. مش كده ولا يا جماعة? No, but in the front of the eyes of the society at the end, because of the success of your organization, who will claim the success? The entrepreneurial leader, in a sense. There is a concept called the diminisher, where unfortunately they are empire builders. Okay, they create tense environment. They know it all, concept. أنا أعرف كل شيء وأنتم ما تفهموا شيء. This happens, by the way, in reality. Think about it in our organizations. The decision maker, he comes and he has only his own decision, and that's it. And he's a micromanager. Unlike the multipliers, according to the study that this lady has done, they are magnet for talents. People will come and say, I want to work for you. I want to work with you. Okay? He's a liberator or she's a liberator. Create an intense environment that requires people's best thinking and work. Okay? You never let your employees stop thinking, stop improving, stop working. The challenger defines an opportunity that causes people to stretch. If they, even me, director, when he appointed me, he said, you have to challenge me. Come and challenge me. And I say the same to my employees. Challenge me with things. Why we are doing this? Challenge me. Because this will let me think, will let me articulate things very well in my mind, and then we can make a better decision. Okay? The debate maker derives sound decisions through rigorous debate. Give them the chance to speak out and put their perspectives, and then make a decision based on that. And the investor, give other people the ownership for results. This is a very powerful thing, believe me. Anything that you succeed in, okay, and the team work, come and say, by the way, these are my team. This guy did this guy did this guy. It's very effective and powerful. They feel very proud, they feel very loyal, and they work even more. Okay, so, yes?
Decision maker and debate maker. And decision maker, you said
I'm talking decision maker who comes with his own mind. ما في إلا أنا أقول الرأي وأنا أتخذ القرار. Yes, exactly. ما أنت في عسكرية، يعني العسكرية, this works for military probably. Like sometimes you have to follow the orders. Exactly, but here, no. How can you have your initiative moving forward without having the buy-in of the members of your organization? It's not going to happen. Okay? Even if it happens, it's going to happen by force. And therefore, you will not maximize what? The outcome of what you are achieving at, or aiming for, sorry. Anyhow, we're going to break. You want what? 15 minutes, 20 minutes for the prayer? 15? So let me see. What time is it now? الغداء حاطين لنا بعد كلمتهم already. باقي لنا one session إن شاء الله, يعني 1 hour and we'll be done. The session is very simple. We're going to have one exercise, and every one of you will develop, his or her entrepreneurial vision. And then we'll just summarize, and I will show you a short video for just less than a minute, and then you are free to go. If you want to go from now, it's okay. أنا شفت نص الشباب مشي ما شاء الله. طيب. Okay, يعطيكم العافية. So now it's 2:52. So talk about 3:07. We're going to be back. طيب. This is the last part. This is the crème chanté, if you like, about the workshop. We have studied all of this together. We have learned the realities of things, the practicalities of things. How can now, as you being leaders, entrepreneurial leaders, or envisioned or emerging entrepreneurial leaders, how can you build your own entrepreneurial vision? Every one of us should have his own entrepreneurial vision. Okay? So, what we're going to do basically, we're going to do a simple exercise. طيب. معلش تساعدني نوزعها شوي. واحدة بس، مرر واحدة بس، واحدة ورقة من دول. واحدة. هذه كم واحدة؟ واحدة بس. نفسها. هذه اللي في يدك خلاص كده تمام. السلام حياك الله، تفضل. تفضل. تفضلي هذه. معلش. هذه ارتكلز نعم. بس هذه حقتها يمكن. اخذتوا هذه الاسئله الزايده اعطوني اياها لو سمحتوا. جاتك الاسئله ولا لا؟ معلش. اي تشيك ليست. شكرا. الثاني ما اخذت منها تفضل. خذ هذه خذ هذه. اعطينا في احد ما اخذ يا جماعه 2 بيبرز هي التشيك ليست. هذه خلاص؟
التشيك ليست مش موجوده.
زميلك؟ اخذتوا يا جماعه التشيك ليست؟ بس التشيك ليست؟ خذ. عندك التشيك ليست والاسئله صح؟ استنى. عندك؟ باقي التشيك ليست ها؟ خذ. اعطني هذا. تفضل. ايش باقي لك يا اختي التشيك ليست؟ تفضل. تفضل الله يسلمك. في احد باقي ما اخذ التشيك ليست؟ او الاسئله؟ Okay, يا جماعة, let's go through them quickly. So, the exercise is as follows. It says here first, review the values checklist that I gave you and pick the top values, the top 2 values. And you have to be frank with yourself, huh? That answer 2 questions. أول سؤال, what values best describe my drivers for who I behave in changing situations? والثاني السؤال اللي هو what values best describe the way I would want others to describe the core of my behavior as a leader. These are 2 things, okay? 2 different things. And then what you need to do after that, I want you to draw a picture on a paper that best symbolizes your values. Okay? For each picture, immediately write down why you choose it and how it defines and symbolizes your values. ترسم رسم كده خفيف وتقول this describes my best values. Always smiling, for example, as we're happy, optimistic, whatever, something like that. Third, create a brief story, for example, about each value and how it resonates in your own life. بعدين, you go back at the back page, select a partner, so probably you can see the lady next to you, and then combine these stories into an entrepreneurial leadership vision statement. تكتب vision لنفسك أو لنفسك that you could deliver to your employees. Your statement should include some behaviors from your stories so that others can understand what you mean when you talk about your values. You are describing values in action rather than simply listing words. فلازم تتكلم عن شيء بتمارسه حقيقي. And assuming everyone else has a common and shared meaning for those words. Your partner will role play a member of your team of the business, so you are now founding or lead. Right? This statement will provide your team with insight into what they can expect from you as a new leader. And this is the script. So, أنت وزميلتك, you're going to talk together according to the script هذا. And then you swap. واضح ولا يا جماعة? So I'm giving you about 20 minutes, and you need to work out this exercise. مين جاء جديد ماخذ الأوراق؟ أبشر. الفاليوز؟ طيب. عفوا. أنت معانا في الورشة من الصباح ولا دوبك جاية؟ ها؟ بس ما المفروض مجلس معانا. خلصنا الورشة خلاص مخلصين. خلصنا خلاص. ما فهمت انا ايش تقصد. في حاجه بسيطه سمري بس يعني إيه بس ما حتستفيد شيء كثير يعني هذه المشكله. لسه والله ما وزعت عليهم شيء لانه بدرس لهم اياها بالايميل يمكن. طيب الله يسلمك يعطيك العافيه. Everyone has the values and checklist موجود والاسئله يلا. For your own values وبعدين طلع منها الشيء اللي تشوفه من خلالك انت والشيء اللي يشوفه الاذرز من خلال التو فاليوز هذه. Only 2. يعني هي اشياء كثير. اختار منها the top 2 عشان كذا you need to spend some time. معلش this will be a good exercise for you guys to go and start your own entrepreneurial vision. It's not going to be final today by the way, huh? It's not going to be it's not going to be final today. but at least it's a good start for you to put and state your entrepreneurial vision. And you might have the vision already. يعني some of you might have this entrepreneurial vision. طيب يلا اشرب البيبسي انا على راحتي يصير. ها جو القهوه بعد ما
طبعا اهم شيء كافيين والشجر يعني عرفت عشان الواحد يقدر يمشي حاله ولا ما يتغذى. اخذت اسمي انا شاطر في لا لا انا شاطر إذا ما في بس لكم لا بس لكم يا شخص. لسه بدينا في البارت 2 و 3 سريع معلش والله الأول بس مش لا ما سجلتي اصلا
ريت ما يجيكم الايميل ان شاء الله. ما اخذ بارتو لسه؟ مرة كده ومرة كده. يلا معلش. بارتو. معلش مرة كده ومرة كده. زم. بس كونسبتس اللي تغدوا ما لهم شيء عندنا. حكونا انا ما بتصل بس يعني ماشي. انا متضامن معك.
ان شاء الله ما يكون فاتنا شيء.
خلصنا خلاص. تعال بس تشتغلون سوا على افكاركم مع بعض تكون الفيجن. ما شاء الله تغديتوا بديكم ماي ملون بعطيكم اياه ابيض واسود. خلينا نشوف وين باقيين التشيك ليست. هذا التشيك ليست هذه اخر واحده عندي. You can share it together. It's your call. This is your vision. It's not mine. Whatever, yeah, for every exam. تتسوي الفيجن حقك. Then you assume that next part will be a team member. Team member in your organization. You are the leader. And now you're going to communicate with him your vision. Yeah. Then مش team up. ولا تفرض زميلك هنا احيانا الليدر هو اللي يشتغل معك في organization. You state for him, you discuss based على هذا the exercise. بعدين it's the opposite. Exactly. كل واحد يسوي his own vision. لا it's your own vision.
السؤال الثاني
What values business right away I would want others. انت اللي تبغاها الناس تشوفك فيها. مش هم اللي يشوفوك، انت تبغى مثلا leader or whatever. طيب؟ Describe the core of my behaviors as a leader. طيب؟ يشوفوك انت الاولى هنا انت هذه for how I behave in changing situations. يعني مثلا صار لك فجأة كده يعني situation صعب معزل how you react. ايش البيهيفيرز اللي انت طيب؟ بعدين هنا كيف الناس حتشوفك. مش شرط بس طبعا انت تتكلم عن واقعك الان. وهنا ايضا كيف الناس تبغاهم يشوفوك. وكيف تبغى الناس تشوفك. ممكن تكون مثلا شخص يعني يكون عصبي. لكن كيف مثلا تخلي الناس ما تبغى تشوفك عصبي. تشوفك دائما كالم حليم وكذا. عرفت الطريقه ولا؟ ايش اللي يحتضن الشيء هذا من خلال الشكل السلمي. وبعدين ترسم الرسمات اللي توصف شخصيتك حسب التو فاليوز اي وبعدين تبدا انت على موضوع تشكل ايش؟ الفيجن حقك. حتقول له تعتبره مثلا تيم ممبر معك والعكس كذا.
كان في اكزامبل يكون واضح شوي ولا؟
انت حنسمع من الجميع كاكزامبلز. متأخر ما في لون ابيض واسود. تضحكوا؟ تتغدوا تسيبونا هذه ايش تسميها بالله؟ مش انانيه ولا؟ انت معاهم كمان متأخر؟
عشان ما يصير زحمه عليك.
ها؟
عشان ما يصير زحمه عليك بعدين.
والله هذا بارك فيه. الله يسلمك. أكيد إن شاء الله. الزهر الأول والثاني نجيب لكم إياه. طلع هنا بدأت سنين. ايش رايكم لما راح تغدوا يعني ايش السيرفيس اللي راح تغدوا الحين؟ للامانه يعني.
هم يبدأوا أول.
ها؟
يبدأوا الحكاية أول.
يبداوا يدون الفيجن اول. طبعا ما كانت تجي 10 ونص لانه ملونه اضطرينا نصورها يعني. ناخذ اكسرسايز ما اظن باقي طيب بس خلاص في باقي الاسئله بس ممكن يقول لكم الشيك شو اسمه If you want to look into the internet and get the picture that really describes your character, do it if you want. But for the sake of time, just do it by hand. Right? I'm not going to see the picture, by the way. So don't worry, draw it, I'm not going to see it. But the thing is that what matters is that I want everyone to state is entrepreneurial vision. This is what I want to hear from everyone.
The business vision or his own vision?
It's your own entrepreneurial vision. As a leader, what will be your entrepreneurial vision? Okay? By the way, do you want to have a group photo at the end of the workshop or not? Group photo somewhere outside? You want to have that? Right, so I'll ask them just to be prepared also. Who's brave enough to be the first victim of this exercise? To talk about his entrepreneurial vision. Let me start this. So, who's going to be the victim of this exercise? أنت تكون أول واحد. By the way, how many of you are ready to talk about their entrepreneurial vision? أنا أبغى أبدأ باللي جو تغدوا، طبعا ما عاد الشيخ هنا، الشيخ قال لي ظرفه من أول ما يحتاج، بس أبغى اللي جو متأخرين أبغى أبدأ بيهم عشان نسمع الانتربرونيور فيجن حقتهم أثناء الغداء إيش سووا بالضبط يعني. ها يا جماعة. Are you ready to state your vision? نسمع من زميلنا هنا، تفضل. ذكرني باسمك يا أخي. حمزة. Can you stand up? And he's going to state his own entrepreneurial vision. And by the way, don't be shy. And if you don't like it, don't laugh or whatever. It's okay, by the way, to say whatever you have. يلا.
As I think I understand the value that best describe my driver for how he behave in a challenging situation.
معلش. أحدة حبة حبة. Okay? You know, talk slowly, please, so everyone can understand.
The values that best describe my driver.
No, I need your vision. Your vision. What is your entrepreneurial vision that you have developed? What is the vision? Okay. نسمع وبعدين نرجع لك تاني. طيب. ها مين فيكم جهز his entrepreneurial vision؟ واحدة بس نبغى واحدة vision مش اثنين. يلا. دقيقتين. طيب we'll give you more time. يلا يا جماعة. It's a statement مش كده ولا يعني جاهزين؟ اوكي. جاهزة أنتِ؟ ما شاء الله شكله الأكل يعني خلاك تشتغلين. تفضلي. المايك طيب. And can I ask the one who is going to set the vision can stand up so everyone can see and listen. Okay.
My vision is being a leader with knowledge and with that has also innovation, a charismatic leader, and what else?
So your vision is going to be what?
A leader with knowledge, with enough knowledge, charismatic leader.
So with charisma, so you're going to be a leader with knowledge and charisma and innovation.
Related to innovation, yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. Who else يا جماعة? Who else? نرجع لك تاني؟ دي المرة أكيد. تقدر تستعين بصديق لو تبغى ما في مشكلة. طيب let's go over here. هذه الرسمة اللي رسمتها أنت. ها؟ صقر.
Develop a work environment flexible with strong leadership to flourish.
Okay. Whose leadership you're talking about? The guys or you?
My leadership.
Your leadership. Okay. Thank you. Who else يا جماعة? But you see, the thing is that what is the most, two of those checklist, values written that suits you based on the question, right? This is what we ask for. Yes, for each one of you. طيب, anyhow. تفضل, you want to talk? تفضل.
Innovation is challenging, so be passionate to be an influencer.
So your vision is what? To influence others, or
yes, to be influencing society in environment and economic.
Do an impact. This is your vision. Is you want to be creating an impact.
Yes.
Okay, influencing others and have an impact in the society. طيب. Anyhow, I'm going to state. Yeah, تفضل.
My vision is to become a serial entrepreneur with a lot of businesses that I open on basis of ethics, fairness, and truth, diverse businesses, to empower people around me, become friends, become their friend, not their boss, and to empower them to do their own businesses as well.
Okay. Can you state that again? That's wonderful. Can I state that again?
Okay.
Everyone is wonderful, by the way, but I want to hear that again. Go ahead. Go again, please.
Okay. My vision is to become a serial entrepreneur, which means that I build a business and then...
We know this.
Okay.
Serial entrepreneur. Next.
Okay. Based on integrity and ethics and fairness, and be truthful to my colleagues, making them friends, and empowering them to open their own business.
So you're going to be buddies with your team?
Yeah, I don't want to follow this.
Right.
I don't
It's your
believe-
call. I'm just asking. I didn't say, bad or wrong. Wrong or right. Okay, let's hear one more or two more.
Do you need me to stand up? So my vision is to educate people, to enable them to discover their inner essence, to live a meaningful life.
Wonderful. Very powerful. Thank you. So the key takeaways, I'm going to state them quickly, okay? And then, you can think about it. But please, ya shabab, the AQ exercise, do it. It's useful. Put your entrepreneurial vision. It's very useful. It will help you move forward to achieve that, vision at the end. So the owners or founders or leaders need to recognize that their values must serve as the foundation of their companies. How come you're going to establish a company organization without having, your clear values of yourself? Okay, because it will be reflected on the work. These values can and should be, clearly articulated in your mind and also in the mind of others. Stories and images about how the values are demonstrated are more powerful than simply stating the values that one holds. So if you just always show, what is so powerful about Vision 2030 when you think about it? The brand itself, the colors, whatever. So if you put some images along with your vision, people will always relate to that. Different people have different values. This is normal. The same words mean different things to different people. Okay? And employees need to understand the values of their companies, and employer-employee value differences can lead to unexpected behaviors and outcomes. That's why you need to very well articulate your values, put them in a vision, and communicate that in a very articulated, manner. Okay? This is the takeaway of the exercise. So, we have a few slides to show you, and then we'll be done, inshallah. You're going to be off. So you stated your entrepreneurial vision, and as a summary, as a leader, you should not be paralyzed by the emerging and noble facets of the world, okay, where reliable and relevant data are not yet available. We saw the example of the reaction, for example, the quilts and the puzzles, how it works. That's number one. You can create social and economic opportunities. Always we say to our students, Ya Jama'ah, create a business, that's great if you want to make money. But always think about the concept of creating jobs for others. تدعي لك رجل يتزوج مرأة تتزوج يعيشوا حياة ابن أسرة. These are great social values. Okay? You should be able to discern the knowable from the unknowable. This is very important. Understand the approach that works in each case and adapt your actions and analysis accordingly. Okay? Don't panic. Just think about it. This is something that I don't know. Okay, I need just now to experiment with minimum loss that I can afford. Okay? You should be a multiplier and not diminisher. Take others with you. Share with them your experiences. Give them the chance to say whatever they want to say, and transfer to them your know-how and knowledge and leadership values. Innovation, compelling vision of the future that attracts others. This is what you need, and you have some discovery skills to do that. Emotional intelligence, your relationships are extremely important. Always يقول لك عيب تتكلم مع هذا ولا عيب تقول لجدك كذا. These are part of the relationship, the emotional intelligence, okay? Delivery skills, ability to show others how to get things done. Okay? Do it and let others follow. And this is one of the most important, slides. Everyone within your organization should take it takes it for granted that success and a continual letting go of less productive activities is about continual search for new opportunities. Let's forget about less productive, or less productive, things. قال لي قلت له مش عارف ايش شكله fights, all the things that will create tension. And the success basically is by finding and searching for new opportunities. You should understand that leadership is an agreement, ya Jama'ah. It's an agreement. Okay? You have to agree to that. If I want you to be my leader, I have to also agree to you, And you lead with permission. People have to accept you as a leader. You should understand that people need to know who you are, what you stand for before they agree to be led by you. هذا السمري يا جماعة حق الورشة اليوم. Okay? Do you like it? Yes. Let me show you one video, and then I'm going to ask you one simple question, then we'll be off. I promise. Right? Let's go and see the video. Okay. Please pay attention to the video. So, what can we learn from this movie?
Make it fun. Make whatever you do fun.
Simple things can change people's life. Think about it. Usually we use escalators, right? Okay. If we use stairs, it will let you practice. Because even me, I'm bad in doing sports, by the way. Okay. Okay. That's number one. Number two, you will save more energy. If you think about it, especially if you put a sensor by which it moves only when people are using the escalator. مش كده ولا يا جماعة? And then you are having fun. You do it because you like it. It's not something that you are forced to do. مش كده ولا يا جماعة? Okay? So anyhow, with this, I'm going to leave you with this question that I want brave people with good hearts, brave hearts, to tell me what is the first thing that you are going to do after this workshop. Seriously. And by the way, again, you can speak out whatever you want, but it's very important for me also to understand how much I influenced you and affected, not me, the workshop, basically. Okay? تفضل.
I'm going to share it with my wife and kids.
What the slides?
No, I will just
Or you fix your relationships with your wife, based on what you have learned over here. So.
My kids are more interested in this.
Okay. Good. So you're going to use it and practice it with your family, huh? Whom else? تفضل.
I will start looking for new people for my group.
You need more people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not more people, selected people.
Selected people. Yeah. Can you tell me why is that?
Because I work for developing something, but now I'm working with people. They are have another missions, another thoughts. But I think after this workshop, I have to select selected people to achieve the certain goal.
Excellent. Okay, whom else? تفضل دكتور.
I'm going to reflect on my daily actions, including my relationships with my friends, with my employees, with my colleagues as well.
Can you be more specific? What exactly you're going to reflect from it? If you allow us to know with you. And by the way, it's not going to be. We're going to cut the tape. So. Okay. Okay. Anyone else? ها؟ Anyone else؟ ما حد فيكم بيسوي حاجة؟ أنا أول حاجة بدي أسويها بروح أتغدى. أوكي. تفضلي. Excellent. تفضل.
Actually, this is before the workshop now, but it will be more fun, more fun last thing is starting my new own business.
You're going to start your own business.
Yes.
Take into account what you have learned over here.
Yeah, take accountability and responsibility and risk to
Excellent.
go further.
ها تفضلي.
I'm going to share it with my leader.
Share it with whom?
My leader.
Okay. You know, I did this workshop several times, and it's very interesting to see. One lady came out of the workshop and she said, "The doctor, the first thing that I'm going to do is that going to change the way I deal with my employees." That was very brave of her to say something like that. So what I want is that every one of you shouldn't tell me now, you don't need to say that. Think about the things that will improve your relationship with others. Okay? Think about the things that do an impact within your organization. And you can be an initiator and do an impact. Things that will matter for yourself, for your organization, and for the whole country. Okay? With this, I thank you very much for being very patient with me and for your time and for you to register. And we have a couple of things to finish. We have an evaluation form. So please, this will help us also improve our workshop, improve like the way I deliver the workshop in my team. And also, the cameraman is ready outside to take a group photo after we finish the evaluation. جزاكم الله خير، يعطيكم العافية إن شاء الله. إلا ما تغدوا ما لهم شيء عندنا. أنا ما قلت لي تغدوا، قلت لي ما تغدوا يعني. طيب. معلش يا عيش أنت ما حنعطيك الايفالويشن فورم لأن أنت ما حضرتي من أول. سنة الأخوات اللي حضروا، هذا تقييم فقط الورشة ها. الله يسلم. معلش وزعوها يا شباب بينكم. تفضلي. Okay, we'll pass a paper now if you want. So, أو ممكن تكتبوا اسمكم على evaluation إذا تحبوا طبعا. Whatever. أنت ما حضرت معنا كل شيء بس يلا ماشي. كنت مشاركة متفاعلة يعني. هي. أبشر إلا أنا أحتاج evaluations أصلا. ها. معلش زي ما يعني صبرت عليكم شويه طول اليوم، اصبروا علي 5 دقائق. الله يعطيك العافيه يا دكتوره، شوفي على خير، موفق ان شاء الله. ما ياخذ ترى يعني 5 minutes يا جماعه. الله يكرمك، الله يسلمك ان شاء الله. المره الجايه تعالي لنا يعني. ما شاء الله ما شاء الله، الله يجزيك خير ان شاء الله. شكرا لك يا اخت عائشه، الله يحفظك. ابشر. الرابط حق الفيديو برسل لكم الفيديو اذا تبغوا. ما اسمه ذا فن ثيري، اكتب عليه في اليوتيوب ذا فن ثيري حقت ذا فن ثيري، نظريه التسليه والمرح او شيء زي كذا. هذا part 4 part 4 الله يسلمك. ارتاح انت وزميلك اللي جنبك هنا ما اخذ، هي واحده ورقه اصلا وش وقفها خلاص هنا عند تفضلوا. الله يسلمك. تفضل، هذا اخر جزء. انتوا اخذتوا الست كامله صح؟ هذه بارت 4 يصير. هذا بارت 4 الله يسلمك. تفضلي تفضلي. انا عندي نسختين باقي من بارت 4، بشوف اذا في نسخه رابعه عندي، اذروايز نرسل لكم اياها بعدين بالايميل. اللي خاص الايفالويشن فورم يقدر يحطه هنا يا جماعه، هنا. هذه اقلام من المعهد، هديه بسيطه جدا ما هي بشيء يعني. هتشوفوا اللي يحتاج القلم فيكم يقدر ايش ياخذه. هذه اقلام بسيطه من المعهد. مين يتكلم عن انتربرينور فيجنز؟ كان اللي طلع يتكلم عن انتربرينور فيجنز، بدنا نشوف. انت تكلمتي؟ تفضل. انت تكلمت على الفيجن حقك كمان؟ تفضل. دكتور تكلمت على الفيجن حقك؟
انا اخذت
تكلمت على الفيجن كمان؟ انت معانا في المعهد ماني معطيك لا. طيب في احد تتكلم عن الفيجن؟ انت؟ الله يسعدك. انت اديتك واحد اول؟ خلاص ممتاز. في احد ثاني يتكلم عن الفيجن يا جماعه؟ حد يتكلم عن الفيجن؟ ها شوف بعدين. This is what you get when you work very hard. ها؟ غيرتوا؟ طيب. بس ما تكلمتي عن الفيجن، تكلمتي عن الفيجن بعطيك. الحمد لله انقضت. بسم الله. Always don't forget the t-shirt and the boat, huh? Exercise. Exercise جدا مهم. طبعا بالنسبه للوجيستكس قيموها، وانا بالعين ياباها موجوده عشان ارضيهم اياها اذا في ملاحظات على التسجيل والكذا، ولذلك موجوده يعني التقييمات على اللوجيستكس. هناخذ جروب فوتو يا جماعه، يعني اللي بده يجلس حياه الله. هنا الله يسلمك، جزاك الله خير. هنا الله يسلمك، شكرا لك، جزاك الله خير. آمين الله يسلمك، شكرا. هلا والله شرفتونا. لا تمشي يا جماعه ناخذ الصوره بس معلش للذكرى يعني. شكرا. ما شاء الله حياك الله، الله يسلمك. ان شاء الله شرفتنا. ان شاء الله. سم هنا الله يسلمك. شكرا لك.